Let's go!
Maria.
I'm a good worker. I work cable tool rigs, build cable tool railroads.
I can't fucking believe my middies weren't playing that entire time. Once again, I've been foiled by the same problem that I have every time where I think my middies are working and then they're not. Oh, no, they were. Okay, never mind. No, I guess it was just that lost MIDI was just completely silent. Okay, sorry. Well, that's good. I'm glad you heard the MIDIs. I thought they just weren't working. Oh, thank goodness. Anyway, hi everyone. If you're hallucinating the midis, that's fine, as long as you hear them. Welcome to Forbidden Mystery Vault. I'm all alone, and my lonely lonesome here. Soul should be arriving at some point soon, but she's not here yet. So while we're here, let's do a fun little recap of events that have happened in 4-Trade Shibuya Scramble. So, last time, we did a lot of stuff. Most notably, Maria remembered her past. and ended. She got an end, like not a bad end. Her story finished apparently. Maria, she's done. That's the end of her. Hearing her story, she just finished. She remembered her past with Kanan, and what else happened? She's still alive, yeah. Osawa got an email from Tanaka and had a delicious gay moment with Kajiwara. Norikawa's story hasn't finished yet. Kano mostly just got a flashback about how his idol, it was really depressed, and then his idol detective is trying to kill Hitomi, mostly for not very valid personal reasons, because he's like trying to atone for guilt. And then Achi realized that his dad is trying to kill Hitomi to get the heart. And I called it. I called the heart being the same blood type. I knew it would happen. Ugh. I guess I could probably do Minorikawa myself, since I do mostly do Minorikawa. But I don't want to. I can catch Soul up when she gets here. So Minorikawa is depressed, and there's a guy who wanders up and has a bat. You look tired, sir. Yeah, I guess so. Oh my god. Hang on, water. Supply is barely audible. The taxi stopped outside of Heaven Publishing. The trip had taken 10 minutes on the dot. Thanks. Norikawa left a 1,000 yen bill on the seat and exited the cab. Sir! Norikawa turned back around. Kimizuka was leaning out the window to point at him. It isn't called work because it's fun, sir. The day will be over soon enough. Hang in there a little bit longer. The driver finished with a knowing grin. Norikawa cracked a ghost of a smile. Maybe his spirits had been lifted, just a tiny little bit. Thank you. You're a true friend of the working man. He waved half-heartedly. That's not what Norikawa sounds like. Thank you. You're a true friend of the working man. Oh my god, he's so sopping wet. I mean, he's actually not. He's very dry, but he's so punished. So beaten up and destroyed. Mr. Mino! Jackie threw herself at him as soon as he opened the door to the editing office.
Whoa,
Uses...
Mondo, cool.
Whoa, it's Soul!
Hello!
Yippee!
I'm sorry!
It's okay. All that you missed was that the taxi driver told him that it's not called work because it's fun, and the day will be over soon enough.
That's good.
And now Chiaki is here, and you're gonna be Chiaki, I guess, because none of the other Chiaki voice actors are here, because Echo's busy getting sloppy or whatever.
All right, give me the local cool stream.
Oh yeah, I should do that. Chiaki threw herself at him as soon as he opened the door to the editing office. News of the explosion was playing on a television. Minorikawa marched straight to his desk and opened up his laptop. While it booted up, he tried to get a handle on the current situation.
God, I love that he's still punished.
Yeah. Where are the folks from the loan company?
They're here. I have them waiting downstairs.
Do they know Toyama's dead?
I'm sorry. I kind of let that slip.
What about Hana?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard from her since she called earlier. Shikai, I'm really sorry, but you're really fucking it right now.
Yeah. With a tiny sigh, Minorikawa started typing in his laptop. By some miracle, his 6 pages of the copy were nearly wrapped up. Yeah, so Toyama is supposedly dead. Hana, Toyama's daughter, called and said that Toyama was dead and had died in the explosion, but he was not the one in the car. So I don't know. Like, in the car was
What
Tanaka.
I'm starting to think is that maybe what happened is that he told his daughter to tell us that he died.
Yeah, he might have faked his own death.
Because that's the kind of thing he'd do.
Yeah, I mean, he does. Yeah.
Because he sucks.
Still, he needed to do whatever it took to see this job through to the end. That would serve as his final tribute to Toyama's memory. He loaded his copy into the DTP software in order to set the layout. Bit by bit, actual magazine articles began to take shape. Then the editing department's door swung open.
Hey!
It kicked over a stack of books.
How long you gonna keep us waiting, huh?
Honestly, Sagawa, must you be so rowdy? A middle-aged man stepped in alongside him. Are you Mr. Minorikawa, then? He held out his business card. His fucking face! A pleasure to meet you.
With the fucking Yakuza family's crest
Yeah.
on the business card.
I'm Asao Uzu from Takarada Finance. Black market lending.
A black market lending firm that offers loans at an interest rate above what the law allows. Well known for taking whatever steps necessary to collect what's owed. Its business card slogan, got bad credit, but you need a loan? Call anytime. We'll put together a loan that suits your needs.
My deepest sympathies about Mr. Toyama. However, I'm afraid that we do need you to give us back the money we loaned. Despite his polite tone, the threat in his voice was plain. Look, next month's issue of 4-Star General Gossip is definitely coming out. Could you please wait for repayment until we have the funds from those sales? That was exactly what Toyama's plan had been, after all. Well, we certainly aren't monsters. If the magazine is going to be making you money, we wouldn't mind delaying another month.
You really mean it? Wait, that was the wrong voice, but whatever.
That's fine. It fits. To clarify, that would be the case if Toyama were still alive. Releasing the next issue is all well and good, but with Toyama gone, so too is the company. That will make full repayment of what we're owed impossible, I expect. Then what do you want us to do?
How about we just cut to the chase? Dig out your ears and listen up!
Chiaki recoiled in panic, and Minorikawa held up an interposing hand. Knock it off. You're scaring the young lady. A thin smile came to Ozu's face. All we want to know is where Mr. Toyama's daughter is.
Yeah, that's right! Tell us where the girl is! No way! Hana's just a little kid. She doesn't have any responsibility to pay back the...
Posey didn't let her finish.
The pan!
We're aware of that. Nevertheless, we'd still like to know where she is. The law didn't matter right now. Guys like this had all sorts of ways of wringing money out of people. It was clear from the looks on their faces that Osu and Sakawa had some wicked scheme up their sleeves.
A wicked little girl scheme.
Unless, of course, you would prefer to take on Toyama's debts, Mr. Minorikawa. You are quite the accomplished reporter, after all. Take on his debts, huh? Minorikawa didn't know how much Toyama had borrowed, but it only took one look at these guys to tell him it was no small sum. How about it? The way you land scoop after scoop, I'm sure you'll be able to repay us in full before you die.
Before you die!
Are we here? People too. Minorikawa fiercely returned his stare. I feel like Minorikawa would take it on himself. Like, I feel like that's in
I
character
think
for
he
him.
dies in this scenario.
You think he's just dead?
I feel like... I don't know. See if they'll give you time.
I'll consider it. Could you give me some time? Chiaki went pale at Minorikawa's response.
No! How can you even think about taking their offer?
Sagawa stepped in, drowning her out.
No way! We waited long enough! Give us your answer now! Yes or no? What's it gonna be?
Now, let's just calm down. He said that he'd consider it as a step in the right direction. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Minorikawa? Yeah, sure. And I suppose we can wait at least a little while longer. Minorikawa had hoped to put them off for several days at least, but it didn't look like that was going to happen. The two men from Takarada Financing plunked themselves down on the editing... Oh my god, sorry, yawning. Plunked themselves down on the editing department's sofa.
Mr. Mino, you're not actually going to take on that debt, are you?
Norikawa sat at his desk, looking over the copy he'd written. That's none of your concern. What I need to know is, how's your piece on those street interviews coming?
But I mean those guys. They said it doesn't matter if the issue comes out or not.
Don't be ridiculous. When a professional agrees to take on a job, I see it through to the end. Chiaki took his point, and scampered to grab the printout of her copy. Norikawa gave it a quick once-over. He saw immediately that the piece was lacking in structure. He then read the article a second time, checking the finer details. Several off-theme sentences jumped out at him. This is no good. Rewrite it. He thrust the printout back at Chiaki.
Yes, sir.
She bowed her head and retreated to another desk. TV was still on. The news broadcaster's voice suddenly broke through the silence, as well as Minorikawa's concentration.
We're live on the scene now, where an explosion in Shibuya has... ...
Minorikawa gazed blankly at the screen. He found his mind drifting to a particular memory of Toyama. The door looked like it might fall apart at any moment, but Minorikawa didn't care. He pounded on it as hard as he could. The Toyama nameplate popped off and fell to the floor. It was hard to believe this dilapidated apartment was the home of a newspaper editor who'd worked his way up from a reporter. Hey, Toyama! Get your ass out here!
Oh boy, I gotta do the saddest voice in the world again.
At the sound of Minorukawa's angry shouting, other tenants on the floor poked their heads out of the rooms to stare. He paid them no heed, continuing to call out. Oh my god. Eventually, Toyama opened the door, dressed in his sweats and undershirt. I love that this is the photo that they went with, like him mid-jump, like Minorukawa mid-jumping away.
Yeah. Quiet down, you moron! Come on in! I think that's you.
Yeah, I hear you tendered your letter of resignation at the paper. Tell me why. Toyama quirked a lopsided grin.
You wanna know why I quit, huh? Alright, lean in close.
Minorukawa peered at him dubiously. Huh? Why?
I don't want anyone overhearing this.
Resigned, Minorukawa leaned forward and turned his right ear toward Toyama. The man's warm breath against his cheek was pretty unsettling. At first, he had trouble concentrating on Toyama's story. When the older man got to the crux of the matter, he found himself listening with rapt attention. By the time Toyama finished, Minorukawa was unable to suppress his shock. You're starting your own publishing company?
Not so loud, damn it!
Toyama shushed him with a finger to his lips. He looked around warily, as if there might be some spies in his own apartment. Right, but a publishing company? What are you doing for your distributor account? All booksellers are required to use a wholesale distributor to circulate their publications. To do business as such a distributor, a publisher needed a specialized distributor account. You're not going to let a company with no track record open a new account with a distributor. I'm sure you must realize that. Toyama grinned, a proud gleam in his eyes.
I know. That's why I bought one.
You bought one?
A ghost account belonging to a publisher that went bankrupt.
Distributor accounts could go for tens of millions of yen. There's no way Toyama could afford that on a severance pay alone. He must have taken out a loan in order to make a purchase. Oh no!
Oh dear.
But the publishing industry was in a slump nowadays. People just weren't buying books much anymore. Starting up a new publishing company was a beyond risky endeavor.
And I've already decided the name of my company, Minorukawa.
Toyama's face was positively beaming.
Get this. Heaven Publishing.
Heaven? That sounds fatalistic.
The idea is the people who work for me will feel like they're in paradise.
Rose bitching about keeping quiet. I don't know how to pronounce that. Toyama was now exclaiming pretty loudly himself. I mean, I can appreciate your willingness to take the risk, but surely your wife must have had objections? Toyama fell silent. He went and opened up the refrigerator. Minorukawa took a peek inside. Its shelves were mournfully spare, holding little besides beer cans and drinking snacks.
The missus left me. Took our daughter with her.
Those scant few words painted the picture clearly enough. Toyama grabbed a can of beer and tossed it to his guest.
But no more sob stories.
Briskly cracked open his own can of beer. Weak foam billowed from the top.
Cheers, Minorukawa, to Heaven Publishing's big debut.
He'd cast everything aside and was striving for a new beginning. If the man had braced himself for the challenge, it wasn't Minorukawa's place to tell him he was making a mistake. Even if it was an uphill battle, he had little chance of winning. Congrats, Mr. Toyama. Minorukawa pulled the tab on his beer can. Cheers! Two of them clapped their hands together.
Clink!
One year had passed since Toyama founded Hibit Publishing. Norikawa poked his head into the editing office, a bag from the convenience store in hand. Hey, boss, how's business?
How does it look like it's doing?
Toyama said amidst a veritable mountain of returned stock, his expression bleak.
Bookstores do not purchase the books they sell, but rather take them on consignment. This allows in return to the publisher any books that do not sell.
Books are all bulky, non-fiction tomes, not exactly the sort to fly off the shelves. The man couldn't even muster a smile for their reunion.
It's been like this for every non-fiction book we've put out.
Wow, starting right off with the bleak stuff, huh?
'Cause things are bleak. The only thing that's selling is this gossip rag of ours.
Norikawa pulled some beer cans from his bag, handing one to Toyama. Toyama lifted an issue of 4-star General Gossip from atop his desk. It was Heaven Publishing's one breadwinner, the only thing keeping the company afloat. But the gossip now seemed like it was buried in the red of the publisher's non-fiction releases.
I really did have higher aspirations than this.
Toyama sighed, gazing in disappointment at the piles of unsold books.
But here we are,
Here we are.
with our Gossip magazine as our only viable publication.
The beleaguered bookseller chugged his beer.
Chug, 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 chug.
Daddy, I'm hungry.
Norikawa was startled to hear a young child's voice. He turned around to see a little girl nestle between the stacks of returned stock. Oh my god.
That's my daughter, Hana. It's complicated, but she's living with me now.
I see. Norikawa couldn't press for more details with Hana right there. In all likelihood, things with Toyama's ex-wife hadn't been going well.
Go on, introduce yourself. This is one of Daddy's work friends.
Hana turned to Norikawa with a bright little grin.
Hello, my name is Hana. I'm 6.
You want some of this? Norikawa held out a packet of dried squid he'd bought to go with the spears.
Sure.
Hana greedily stuffed her cheeks with the squid. Toyama flashed a sheepish grin. Do you like living with your daddy, Hana? Kara asked, giving the girl's hair a gentle ruffle.
Uh-huh, I do. My daddy's amazing. He runs a company.
Toyama let out a tiny involuntary sob at his daughter's ready praise.
I'll keep at it.
This man is so... He's made of cookie dough. He's gonna just mold his face like clay. I don't know. It just looks like it's so, like...
Yeah,
Like-
I know what you mean.
You could just dig a spoon into that guy and just come out with a big slop of Toyama.
Hana is more important to me than any high aspirations I might have had. I'll keep shoveling out copies of the gossip, and at least make sure she's always got something good to eat. Ugh.
Daddy, this is really tasty.
Hana held up the pouch of dried squid. Tears welled into Toyama's eyes.
Next time, I'll make sure she has some sashimi instead of something like this.
Hey, what do you mean, something like this? I'm the one who bought it. Toyama and his daughter laughed together. It was a heartwarming sight, Norikawa thought. Father and his girl getting along so well. Toyama might have been a hard-hitting journalist. When he came home at the end of the day, he was just dead. It was only natural for the man, as a father, to put his child above anything else. After gorging himself on snacks, Hannah fell asleep on the sofa, looking well and truly satisfied.
You know, Minorikawa, Hannah's happiness means more to me than my lofty artistic ideals ever could.
Toyama kept his voice low as he regarded his daughter's sleeping face. And from that day forward, Heaven Publishing had shifted its focus to scandal rags, with 4-star journal gossip as its pillar. Had that been for good or for ill? Whatever the case, Toyama had abandoned his pride. Norikawa had watched him become more and more of a miserable wretch.
Ooh.
Norikawa snapped back into the present as a sheaf of pages appeared in front of his face.
Here you go.
Right. Norikawa gave her copy a close read over, then thrust it back out to her. What did you even fix?
Could you please tell me what parts are wrong?
What are you talking about?
It's just, well... We don't have a lot of time, so I figure if I just fix the parts that need fixing...
Chucky trailed off into an indistinct mutter. Is that always how you go about fixing your copy?
Yeah?
Then you're never going to get any better. If someone tells you it's no good, you rewrite the whole thing from scratch. Just making fiddly tweaks here or there is what an amateur does. Chucky dipped her head even deeper, cringing at the reprimand. Norikawa let out a tiny sigh. Look, what I just told you, that's what Toyama told me when I was first starting out. There were times he'd have me do dozens of rewrites. At first, I thought he was just pushing me around. But after rewriting things over and over, I realized something. There are a whole lot of ways you can write about the same thing. And that's what helped me hone my skills as a writer. Chucky raised her head back up.
Oh, wow. Really?
If you can get that, then stick with it. Ride your submission deadline as close as you have to in order to write the best piece you can.
Okay, I can do it. I will do it.
Finally, Chiaki's face brightened with a smile. That's the spirit. Woman might have talent, but she hadn't realized it yet. She needed to be able to stick to an assignment, even when things got tough. If she didn't have that kind of resolve, she'd never make it as a freelancer.
She'd die.
Oh, how touching. I'm almost moved to tears. They'll make a movie of this for sure. See? We had only been acquainted with that sad sap Toyama. We never knew there was such an upstanding fellow here who was so good at tough love. Norikawa shot to his feet and pounded his fist on the desk. That's about enough from the peanut gallery.
Hold your tongue!
His eyes shone in a vicious gleam.
We're getting sick of waiting here!
Sagawa. Oh no, wait. I think this is, Norikawa. Sagawa, you really are a short-tempered guy, aren't you? Ozu chuckled disapprovingly at his own going and slid a sheet of paper onto Minorikawa's desk. Nevertheless, I'm afraid we do require a decision now. If you'll just stamp here, we'll be on our way. Chucky stared down at the document.
Is this a bond of recognizance? Yeah, that's right! That's what you write when transferring a debt!
Sagawa puffed himself up proudly. Norikawa silently looked over the contract. If you don't have a stamp, we'll gladly accept a signature as well.
Face it, pal, you don't even sign. We're never gonna stop going after Toyama's daughter.
Norikawa snapped.
He's just gonna do it. Mr. Mito, you can't do this! Think about what you're doing! If you go through with this, you'll wind up just like Mr. Toyama!
I won't.
Yes, you will!
Just who the hell do you think I am? I'm Miss Minoru Minorikawa, damn it. I'm gonna land so many scoops it'll make your head spin. And I'm gonna pay back this debt and rebuild Heaven Publishing.
What? Why would you take such a risk?
Minorikawa lowered his voice. Because I owe him so much. Also, my drill is the drill that will pierce the heavens. Just so you know. This pen is the pen that will pierce the paper. That's actually bad.
I don't think that's
bad.
It is bad, yeah.
Can't stand by and let these scumbags kill his dog. Aha! Oh no, that's Sagawa.
Aha!
Before Minorikawa could sign, Sagawa startled him with a sudden exclamation. Looking up, Minorikawa saw what the loan sharks had seen. Little Hannah standing by the door.
Get her! No, wait, that's probably you.
Get her!
On it, boss!
Ozu and Sagawa rushed the girl. Run! Hana bolted right back out the door, but Ozu managed to snatch her up just as she reached the stairs. Let's be on our way, shall we? A vile grin came to Ozu's cruel face as he hid down the stairwell.
Cruel.
Stop! Let her go! Minorikawa rushed after them, trying to grab the girl, but Sagawa drove a punch right into his face. Oh no, it's probably a bad end.
I
He
don't
fell down
know.
the stairs.
I mean, I guess maybe if, like, Aichi or Kano
Ooh.
stop Hana from going back home.
Pain staggered him. Nevertheless, he managed to press on. Yeah,
No, he's persevering!
hands off that girl.
Ooh! Nice. Shut your damn mouth!
Something hard slammed into his chest. His vision went dark. He felt himself slipping from consciousness. Just before he blacked out, he heard Hana's voice.
I'm sorry, Uncle Minorikawa.
Sorry? No, I'm the one who should apologize. But before his thoughts could got any further, Minorikawa passed out. So I guess we do have to sign earlier, because...
No, I think another character makes Hana not get caught.
Wait, you think so?
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Turns out Hana had been at the police station just before this, trying to decide if she should tell the police her father had been killed in the explosion. Then someone brought her to
That sounds like
Kano
Kano
clearly.
just did this to her.
Oh, right! Yeah, I forgot that Kano did that.
Wait, Kano did that?
Yeah. Because he runs into the girl. He runs into...
I guess it would be in that one, in deciding what to do. Maybe? A need
No,
to do
because
something?
it's this bit. It's this, like, you get the phone call right after you drop her off at Heaven Publishing. So it must be this choice.
Right, because she's at the police station to tell... Yeah.
But, interesting.
Wait. Was it someone else? Let's see what all the options are around this time.
I'm very sure it was Kano. Because there's not really other, like,
Yeah, it has
choices.
to be Kano because everyone else is busy.
I'm gonna go with this one. Because this is him going somewhere. Not
Yeah, and then
contacting
he
someone.
he won't see Hana if he does this.
That's my hope. No,
No, he
he
saw
still
her.
did.
Okay. All right, I guess. Oh, right, both of those lead to the hospital.
Okay, so maybe
I
I
guess we
do
gotta
have to
talk to
call
Rumi.
Rumi. Most of these 3 choices haven't been that impactful, but now we're getting into that part of the game where
This
they're...
one's pretty, yeah.
The phone rang several times before it went to voicemail. The fact that she hadn't picked up made Kana all the more anxious.
This is gonna be Tadano, and then the timeline will.
Oh, yeah, so he just goes straight to...
Yeah, I think we've
This is
saved
basically this- Yeah,
we've
I
saved
didn't...
we've saved Minorikawa at this point, I think.
Maria.
Maria. Yeah, now we're back in the
Yeah, the timeline has
and the
been
bad end's
fixed.
gone. But why would you take such a risk?
Because I owe him so much. I can't stand by and let these scumbags kill his daughter. Minorikawa readied his pen and signed the document.
All right. Now we're talking.
A satisfied grin came to Ozu's face as he reached for the contract. But before he could pick it up, Chiaki snatched it from the desk.
I'm not letting you do this.
She's eating it.
We love when someone eats a contract.
She's eating it. Crumbling the paper, she stuffed it right into her mouth.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Tried to force Chiaki's mouth open.
Don't you dare, you bitch!
But despite its frantic efforts,
She
Chiaki
swallowed
managed to
it!
gulp the wad of paper down. Sagawa blinked a few times.
Oh, you did not just do that!
Ozu looked on, dumbstruck. Guess we got a new... Oh no, that's Sagawa.
Guess we gotta get a new contract from the office, boss. Bring as many as you want. We'll just keep eating them.
She's so good. Mental image of a goat eating paper is a common one, dating back to long ago when paper was made solely out of plant material. If a goat were to eat modern paper, the wad of chemically treated pulp would go undigested, possibly cause an intestinal blockage. So please, do not feed paper to goats. I think that's
Bro,
probably
you a
Cigar.
damn goat or something?
Cigar has shoved Chiaki. Cigar shoved Chiaki up against the desk.
Oh, cut it out. That hurts.
She struggled to resist. Chiaki lurched toward the desk, planting one of her hands atop the TV remote control. One of her fingers happened to land on the volume up button.
Oh, here we go.
FMV. Sound from the television set soon hit max volume.
We have just learned that the explosion earlier claimed the life of one man. While police have stated that there is a likelihood of foul play at work, they are also pursuing leads that this was a potential suicide.
He hadn't released a name. They must have been talking about Toyama. Feeling the impact of his mentor's death all over again, Murakai slumped back in his chair, his body languid and lifeless.
Suffering.
Still, there's one thing he could do for the friend he lost. Draw up a new contract. I'll sign it.
Mr. Nino!
Don't argue with me. I've made up my mind. Chiaki fell silent. No reneging on our deal now. I do hope you don't get any funny ideas about running out on us. Norikawa didn't need the warning. He had no such plans. Sagawa slapped a new contract onto the desk.
Here! Sign it!
Norikawa signed for a second time. Sagawa stepped in to make doubly certain that Chiaki couldn't eat it. I do hope you're able to earn enough to pay us back in short order, Mr. Minorikawa. With a satisfied grin, Ozu smacked him on the shoulder. Norikawa stood on deck as his ship set up. Oh my god. Did I just get a bad end?
What the fuck is going
Norikawa
on?
stood on deck as his ship set out across the rolling waves. In order to pay back the loan as soon as he could, he had to quit his financially unreliable career as a freelancer. For over a
Okay.
year now, he'd been sailing the seas, tossed by wind and thin waves as
Okay.
he went in pursuit of his new goal. But as Minorikawa
Okay.
gazed out over the vast, wild ocean, his eyes shone with the self-same gleam that had lit them in his days as a reporter chasing after the truth. It's fucking Sonic music. With pen
exchange for
for
fishing
fishing
rod. He sought a brand new destiny.
Forge
Forge
onward,
onward,
Minorikawa, for the
Minorikawa,
diamonds of
For
the
the
sea,
diamonds of the sea.
the rare bluefin tuna.
Fish tuna.
Okay. So he
Okay,
can't
is this
do that.
one just signed immediately or what? Like what have we got?
Yeah.
Okay, but how do we do that with the tools we have? No. I don't think it's taking on the debt.
You don't think so?
No,
Oh,
it
right,
said
there's a... Oh, right, yes! Right, yes, the fucking
Hmm?
Kano, 'cause Kano chooses if they release the name.
Oh, right.
Oh my
did this.
god, we did this!
We did this to him.
Still a lot they didn't know about Tanaka. The fact that the final shot of the ransom relay was cut off his condo implied some sort of connection between him and the kidnappers. I still had no idea what his role in the abduction might have been. They also didn't have any motive for why Tanaka would be helping the kidnappers in the first place. Sharing some of what they did know with the public might be able to garner some new leads. This name right then. Okay.
All right, now just, we've saved them. I can't believe Kano does two things that
Both fuck
fuck
up
Norikawa up. On the volume up button. We have just learned the identity of the victim killed in the explosion. Shibuya resident and pharmaceutical executive.
Shibuya resident? Norikawa tilted his head in confusion. Toyama didn't live in Shibuya.
Once again, the victim of the explosion was Shibuya resident and pharmaceutical company executive Mamuro Tanaka. The cause of the explosion remains unknown. The police are still in the process of following up on several potential leads. The site of the incident remains an alarming scene with relief workers continuing to tend to the wounded.
Poor people in the area often spoke in near unison. Huh?
Huh?
Who's Tanaka?
Who's Tanaka?
I'm imagining Norikawa getting into insane fights at the fish market. Yeah, exactly. That would... Norikawa haggling his fish prices up.
Did any of these go? Oh, I guess Kano's went on to the end of the hour.
We're like finished with this hour. Only four people
fuck,
now.
there's only 4 of them now. Right. Are you scared about meeting with your father?
Someone's broken through our firewall. I'm sorry, Mr. Nino.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Whoa.
Nino.
You'd lose everything.
You'll lose everything.
Bananas.
Three to 4. It's down to Minorukawa, Osawa, Aichi, and Kano.
It's so
5 to
fucked
6.
up. It's so fucked up that there's no Maria.
Go to the
I literally...
Go to the time chart. Like, okay, Minorukawa just has the news thing skip at the end, but like that's cheating. No one else ended at the end. No, none of them end at the end of the hour except for Kano.
Yeah. They all, like... Kano ended at the end of the hour, Minorukawa, but... Yeah.
Oh no, wait, this is after. Yeah, Kano's the only one that ends at the end of the hour.
Okay.
So are
Maybe we do...
Do you want to see what the
Achi?
fuck's happening with Maria and Kano though? They're in the same place still.
Yeah, that's like a pretty big one.
Surprise attack.
Surprise attack. The gunshot rang out from Tatano's gun, but it was a wild shot, fired reflexively as the weapon flew out of his hand. He did the policeman's disarming shot. The mythical policeman's disarming shot.
Yeah, but now God is going to have the gun magically fly back into Tadano's hand.
Oh no, never mind. A figure had leapt from behind the water storage tank, kicking him in the arm that held the gun.
It's Kanan!
Then, moving almost too fast for the eye to track, the newcomer delivered an elbow strike to Tatano's jaw. Connor didn't even have the chance to fire his gun. Before he could react, Maria's kidnapper was already laid out on the ground. Without so much as looking back, the girl bolted down the stairs. Maria! He started to chase after her, but a bright glimmer in the corner of his eye stopped his tracks. The strange assailant had drawn a knife, and was preparing to slit the unconscious Tadano's throat. Kana quickly brought his gun back to bear. Stop right there! The knife stopped, mere millimeters from Tadano's neck. Kana was sure that if he hadn't intervened, the detective's throat would have been slit already. The knife wielder pulled back the hood that had been concealing her face. You. I know you, Kano said, shocked to see that he recognized the attacker. It was the girl who had been knocked down by the minivan explosion.
Why stop me? Weren't you just about to shoot him yourself?
I don't have a reason to shoot him anymore. Not now that you've helped Maria escape. Please, put the knife away.
Very well. Looks like he's not waking up for a while anyway.
The girl withdrew the knife and rose to her feet. Why did you come to Maria's rescue?
Because she's my friend.
She's been infected with the virus. We have to get her to help as soon as possible. He headed for the stairs that Maria had scampered down.
Not so fast. Don't move.
The girl's sharp tone made Kano stop. What for? I thought you wanted to help.
I do want to help her, which is why I'm not letting the police get their hands on her.
The girl's voice was quiet, but hard as steel.
The police are afraid of the UA virus spreading, which is why they'll certainly place Maria under quarantine. If that happens, there won't be any way to save her.
Just who in the world are you?
Before I answer that, let's make a deal.
Kano waited, non-committal.
I have information relevant to this case. I want to make an exchange.
Kano swallowed the lump at his throat. In exchange for what?
Tell me where Hitomi Osawa is.
Hitomi Osawa? Stanley had taken Hitomi into custody. Kano could probably get in touch and ask him where she was, but... Why do you want to know where Hitomi is?
Do we have a deal or not?
The girl looked like she was in no mood to argue. Still, she knew about the UA virus. She was probably telling the truth about having information. But it was a violation of police policy to leak information on any investigation to a third party.
Boo!
Besides, was it wise to trust the young woman without knowing who she was? Kano weighed his options for a moment before replying.
First, I need to know who you are.
First, I need to know who you are.
My name is Kanan.
Kanan? Kano fell back to the grisly scene at the foreign syndicate's hideout. Did she do that? Kano was almost afraid to wonder. As if sensing his unease, Kanan spoke up, her voice low and calm.
Once you hear what I have to say, I think you'll be more inclined to tell me where Hitomi is.
There was still a lingering trace of adolescence in this strange girl's face. It's hard to believe someone so young could be a covert Middle Eastern operative. And yet Kano had seen how quickly she'd been able to render Tatano unconscious. Alright then. Guess I'll go first. Oh no, wait, that's Kanan.
Alright then, guess I'll go first. There's someone out there trying to get their hands on the antiviral drug. My objective is to eliminate this person and put a stop to their plan.
I'm sneezing. Anna felt neither surprise nor horror at her use of the term eliminate. After all that had happened today, he realized his sensibilities had gone numb. This person you're after, you're talking about an arms dealer named Alphard, aren't you? Kanan nodded.
The UA virus has been weaponized and tested several times on the battlefield to great effect. The antiviral would render this weapon wholly ineffective. Countries the world over are dying to get their hands on it.
Then why did Alphard orchestrate this kidnapping? If the goal is to get the antiviral, why not just steal it from the laboratory? There's a lot about this kidnapping case that still didn't add up. Connor was sure Alphard's plan was hidden in those baffling details. This is Kanan.
Lab security at Akoshi Pharmaceutical is practically perfect. The place is under surveillance 24 hours a day, and getting to where the antiviral is stored requires bypassing 3 sophisticated electronic locks. Getting the antiviral out is impossible.
Unexpectedly, a sly grin appeared on Kanan's face.
If you were Alfred, how would you steal it?
Huh? Connor was taken back by this sudden question. He thought good and hard about how to answer.
Probably make Osawa do it is the correct answer,
Yeah.
because that's what he did.
Osawa heads up the lab. Wouldn't he be able to get it out?
No. Accessing the storage facility requires the authentication of both Kenji Osawa and Mamoru Tanaka. It's impossible, even for one of them, to gain entry alone.
That's right. Stanley had mentioned the same thing.
The lab security also performs a thorough body search at the building's exit. This ensures that employees can't sneak materials out on their way home from work.
That level of security was perhaps understandable. Connor tried to think of other ways to gain access to the drug, but none came to him.
6 days ago, Alphard injected Hitomi Osawa with the UA virus.
What? Tale had taken a sudden and very unexpected turn. So it wasn't only Maria who had been infected, but Hitomi as well? 6 days ago at that? Wait, hold on. Hitomi Osawa was perfectly healthy earlier today. So that must mean...
Exactly. Kenji Osawa administered the antiviral to her.
An unsettling thought occurred to Kano. It is supposedly impossible for Osawa to access the antiviral all by himself. But if he'd be able to give it to his daughter all the same, then that had to mean...
He needed Minoru Tanaka's help to do it, of course. Which is why Alfred bribed Tanaka ahead of time.
So that's what happened. Tanaka had been paid off to inject Hitomi with the virus. Getting Osawa to take action at that point wouldn't have been difficult. But why go to such lengths to get the antiviral administered to Hitomi? Why would Alphard have Hitomi infected with the virus only to then have her father cure it?
It's been roughly a week since she was given the antiviral. The DDS is still in her body.
The what?
Essentially, taking blood from Hitomi Osawa now would allow someone to extract minuscule amounts of the antiviral.
Kano was stunned. Suddenly, all these seemingly unrelated threads were beginning to form a pattern. So, since getting the antiviral out itself out of the lab wasn't an option, Alphard must have thought of using a human vessel.
A human vessel!
Which means the thing that Alphard's really after is...
Yes, Hitomi's blood. Alphard specifically requested that Hitomi make the ransom handoff. Additionally, the crime syndicate was hired to carry out a relay with the attaché case containing the ransom money. This would disrupt the investigation and distract the police, allowing the kidnappers to target Hitomi in secret.
Wait, no. Hold on. There's something about the story that still made no sense to Kana. Tell me this.
Why not just kidnap Hitomi in the first place? Connor doesn't know the answer to that. The reason why not use Tanaka is really obvious. There's no way to get Osawa to do that one.
Yeah.
Because it's just like immediately like, what do you mean that you have how did you get the virus, Tanaka?
Why not just kidnap Hitomi in the first place? That was the key question right there. Why kidnap Maria instead? Alphard wanted Hitomi's blood. Abducting her, not her sister, was the obvious move. The girls had themselves mixed up, hadn't they?
I didn't realize the wording of C. It's really funny. Just like, but Hitomi didn't think that she was Maria, did she?
Surely they couldn't have been so foolish as to abduct the wrong target. So, kidnapping Maria must have been intentional. But it didn't add up. No matter how he looked at it, Kano couldn't see any reason to kidnap Hitomi's sister.
It's my fault that Maria was kidnapped.
Kanan looked away.
I contacted her before all this started. I told her about the kidnapping plan. I gave her a GPS beacon to track her to give to her sister so that I could track Hitomi's location after she was abducted. But my plan backfired. Maria switched places with Hitomi and let herself get taken by Alphard.
What the hell? Why hadn't Maria taken this to the police? Or, if she was so determined to protect her sister, why not just get her to leave town or something like that?
There must have been some sort of accident, though. The GPS was never turned on after the kidnapping, and I wasn't able to track Maria down.
But there was something that... Oh, no, that's Kanan.
But there was something that even Alphard hadn't counted on. This person right here. I'm interested in seeing if Kanan's wrong, or because how would Aichi's dad know?
Yeah, exactly. So Tadano had disrupted Alphard's plan by going after Hitomi himself.
Considering where it's all led, Alphard must be panicking about now. But we can't let our guard down. Even now, I'm sure the mastermind is thinking of some way to fit what this man has done into the master plan.
So, it's a perfectly imperfect plan. Is that what you're saying?
Precisely.
Kanan flushed Kano an approving grin. I heard that from Stanley, the man who drove you to the hospital earlier.
That case officer, huh?
Case officer? So that was it. Stanley was CIA.
The U.S. Embassy in Akasaka functions as the headquarters for the CIA's Japan branch. As the embassy building is not reliably secure, however, the agency carries out many of its activities in specially constructed embassy annex facilities, often under the guise of cultural exchange organizations.
There are reportedly over 100 CIA personnel active in Japan, but given the inherent secret involved, the exact number is not officially known.
You're kind of muffled sometimes. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, weird. Sorry.
It's okay. Now that I thought about it, it all made sense. I don't know who this is. I think this might be Kanan.
Since Alphard is an arms dealer with worldwide connections, I don't know what nation might be trying to obtain the antiviral. Obviously, any country that has a viral weapon would want to prevent their enemies from obtaining it. It's no huge surprise that people are butting in trying to put a stop to Alphard's plan.
A tiny beeping sound caught Connor's attention. Kanan pulled a PDA from her breast pocket. Personal digital assistant. Refers to various types of small portable devices for information management. Occasionally also referred to as a handheld PC.
Interesting. The GPS I gave to Maria has just been powered on. Now I can find her location.
Where is she?
She's on the move. But why is the GPS suddenly active now?
Kanan frowned.
At any rate, I've told you what I know. Now tell me where Tomi is.
Alright. Connor got out his phone and called Stanley. The American was quick to pick up.
What's going on?
Where's Hitomi?
We're on our way to Endo Electronics in Dogenzaka.
Endo Electronics? Why are you going there? Connor was familiar with the dilapidated old storefront, because he had passed by the place countless times.
Too long of a story. There's a lot that's happened. How are things on your end?
About as bad as they could be, but I'm getting closer to the truth. Please, make sure you keep Hitomi safe. Alphard is after her blood.
Her blood?
Connor told Stanley what he'd heard from Kanan.
I see. So that's what's going on. Once we're finished with things in Dogenzaka, I'll bring Hitomi right back to the precinct.
Where is she?
She's on her way to an electronics store in Dogenzaka.
I see.
Kanan checked Maria's location on her PDA.
First, I need to get Maria. I'll get to Hitomi after that.
I'm going with you.
Be my guest.
With that, Kanan was off and running. Connor took one last glance at the unconscious Tottenham and hurried after Kanan as fast as he could. Dan is leaving him there.
I mean, he'll maybe be fine.
They're in
He's
for
not
South
gonna
Hill.
die.
They're in for South Hill and none pay died towards Shibuya Station. As they darted and weaved madly through the narrow side streets, Kanan took an occasional glimpse at her PDA. It felt to Connor like they must be taking the shortest possible route to Maria's location. He stayed quiet, keeping pace as Kanan led the way. Before he knew it, they were heading up Dogenzaka. In not too long, they'd be at Endo Electronics. Hey!
What?
Are you sure this is the right area?
Are you doubting the GPS?
Actually, can I see that GPS unit? Connor peered over Caden's shoulder, so that the GPS there were indeed pointing in the direction they were headed. They weren't just running around at random, nor was the unit broken. Huh. Endo Electronics is right up ahead.
What?
Kanan stopped abruptly.
What are you suggesting?
The twins are heading for the same location. That's my guess. Still, what did that actually mean? Kano hadn't figured that out. They took off running again. Before long, Indoor Electronics came into view. Kaden stopped in front of the shop door.
Right here.
I knew it. Indoor Electronics. Same place Hitomi was headed.
Guess we're all winding up together.
Convergence.
Or else we've been brought together.
She peered keenly at the building and its surroundings. Hana swallowed hard. We? You think you've been roped into this, too?
Quite possibly.
Kaden flashed a winning smile and started to head into the shop. Hold on, I need to report it to HQ. Hana hurriedly pulled Kuze out of his cell. This is Kuze.
Kano, what's going on?
I've located Maria Osawa.
Huh? What's that?
Kuze's words came out as a surprised and childish yelp.
Come on, time is critical.
He nodded silently back at her.
Kano, what's the location?
That's...
Where are
Kuze's.
you?
I can't see right now, sir. Please, just leave this to me.
Hey, now just hold on.
Kind of ignored the director's scoring. Hung up. Kaden had already entered the shop. She seemed wholly unconcerned by the idea that she might be playing right into Alphard's hands. Despite her youth, she clearly thought of herself as quite capable. Warily, he followed after her. After navigating a veritable cavern of junk, they came to a door that led to the living area beyond. Kaden quietly opened the door and immediately stepped inside. The home is divided into a dwelling area and a workroom. A man's voice could be overheard from a workroom, raised in anger.
Don't you want to save Suzune?
That's definitely Daisuke.
Yes, definitely.
Kano and Kaden crept closer. Peering through the next doorway, they saw a tense confrontation in progress.
I'm amazed that there has been a keep out in that, like...
Oh my god. Maria and Stanley
Jesus
standing
Christ,
there.
what the fuck happened?
Oh my god. Looking down at a middle-aged man who had restrained Hitomi with a stun gun pressed to her throat.
Jeez! Dad, of course I want to help Suzune!
A young man stepped into view, speaking to the older fellow.
But do you think this is what she'd want you to do?
Kano watched intently, tensing for action. There was so much at risk here. He was about to barge into the workroom and Kaden grabbed him by the shoulder.
Let's wait and see how this goes first.
He realized this was good advice. If they provoked the older man, things could very well take a sharp turn for the worse. They just have to hope the young man could talk him down.
Okay, that's why. Well, he won't.
Yeah, keep out.
Okay, there's the keep out.
Well, I know where we're going next.
Are we? Yeah?
I mean, I feel like that's a good thing to do, because Echo's not here, so I don't really want to go to Osawa. We could do Norikawa, but that's like kind of, he's on his own right now.
Yeah, and if he's on his own, then he will probably end up intertwining with Osawa, so...
Ooh. Achi moment. Achi told Stanley and Hitomi what his father had done. As she listened, Hitomi hung her head. Her face was sallow.
I'm so sorry. I'm not really sure what to say.
He clenched his fist so hard his knuckles popped, struggling to keep his emotions in check. So if I were rendered brain dead, you could help your sister. A state where brain function has ceased irreversibly. In Japan, there are 2 conditions for declaring breath death. The first is that the patient must be comatose and in a state of apnea, no longer breathing, due to damage to the brain. The second is that the root cause is diagnosed and it is deemed that no reasonable treatment will restore brain function.
So, for example, if someone shot you in the head.
Stop!
Stop!
Oh, that's
Please,
cute. What am I saying?
don't say things like that.
A sad look came to Hitomi's face, and she pressed her right hand to her heart. I mean, to find out like this... She turned to Archie, tears glistening in her eyes. I want to help your sister, but...
We have other things to worry about right now.
This time it was Stanley for Rob.
Remember, Alphard is after you, Hitomi. Isn't that what Kanan told you?
Yes. She said I was the mastermind's target. Hitomi wiped her tears away with her fingertips.
So Alphard and Aichi's father are after the same thing. Is that just a coincidence?
Didn't sound like he thought so.
Hold up! Yeah, my dad's way out of line. But he did what he did for Suzune. He wouldn't work with terrorists. I'm not saying he's deliberately aiding terrorists. It's common sense that a pro wouldn't get an amateur involved with their plans. That makes it too likely that a clumsy misstep will cause things to fall apart. But then again, that's not the way Alphard thinks. So actually, the likelihood of failure could well be part of the plan.
She thought back to what Kanan had said earlier. If you achieve your goals using accidental means, the outline becomes blurred. It makes it harder for anyone outside looking in to grasp what the actual plan is.
Not only have they put together a perfect plan, they've purposely left certain tiny holes in it. So if we assume the plan has failed, the slip-up might be exactly what Alfred wants. Sort of an intentional hole, then?
Real.
Intentional hole.
Stanley snorted. I might take on Stanley because I'm just realizing that you're gonna be doing Daisuke, Maria, and
Oh, I'm
Hachi.
gonna be doing Daisuke, Maria, and Aichi.
Yeah.
Fuck. Why did I say yeah? I'll be his dad.
Yeah, I'll be his dad and his mom and him. You
God.
are the Endo family.
I'm his entire family. That is funny.
You're also his sister. Pretty sure you did his sister's voice as well.
Oh my fucking god.
Stanley snorted. Kanan told you guys that too, huh? If that's the case, then you really are a fool.
What did you just call me?
If you've known all along how formidable his opponent is, you should have given Hitomi over to police custody right away. It's only a matter of dumb luck that either of you are still alive right now.
Look, luck or not, me and Hitomi managed to get by safely. That's all that matters.
What exactly is the relationship between you two anyway? Are you guys dating? When Hitomi hesitated uneasily, Achi decided he'd better speak up.
No, it's not like that.
We just happened to run into each other earlier today. Guess I'm not the kind of guy who can abandon someone in trouble.
Can't abandon someone in trouble, huh? Sure, you're not just trying to make yourself feel self-important. There are plenty of people out there that you can't see who are also in trouble, who are also suffering. If you only help the ones close at hand, then what's the point, really? The world's a lot bigger than you can imagine. There's a lot you're blind to.
So what? If I see someone who's in trouble, I'm just supposed to ignore them? Nah, I can't do that. If I see someone who's collapsed from hunger, I'm not gonna walk on by just because there are people starving somewhere else in the world. I'd be all like, hey, let me treat you to a beef bowl, or whatever.
He's so good. He would be like that. It's so true. You couldn't have come up with a smarter example?
Okay, so I'm an idiot. My bad.
Stanley laughed again. Today's been an interesting day. I was with another fellow earlier who's just like you.
Meaning what? Was he an idiot too?
Yeah, he was an idiot. Do all you Japanese have that problem?
Hardly. My little sister's so smart, she'd make your eyes pop out.
Well, I'm sure relieved to hear that. If everyone in this country were as dumb as you guys, I might actually start to like this place.
What? Huh? What does that even mean? Talk so I can understand, man.
But Stanley didn't respond. Instead, he stuck out his head out the car window, peering at the road ahead. We're close to Shibuya Station now, and the traffic had ground to a halt. Gridlock again? Probably better to walk the rest of the way to Etowah Promise. He pulled over on the side of the road.
Specifically, the shoulder that runs along either side of the traveled portion of the roadway, a place where trash tossed out of windows of moving cars tends to accumulate. Tossing cigarette butts and empty cans out on the street can potentially hurt people, and it definitely makes a mess. Please, don't litter!
This message brought to you by Achi Endo. Why was that there at this point in the game? Why did they choose now to give that message? Hachi got out of the car, feeling his guts not up with worry. Pretty soon he was going to have to confront his father. Stanley gave Hachi a look. Are you scared about meeting with your father?
I'm not scared. First things first, I'm gonna punch him right in the face. Then we can have ourselves a chat.
Don't let your emotions get out of control. Your father might be one of the key players in this case.
I don't give a damn about that.
Hachi took Hitomi by the hand and started walking. He'd gone up and down Dogenzaki so many times today already. This was probably the last time he and Hitomi would make their way up the hill together. Oh!
B, definitely B.
Hachi walked at an easy pace, wanting to delay the end of their time together just a little longer. Once they reached his home, his kidnapping case would be all over. Because his own father, Daisuke, would be arrested as the culprit. Kidnapping for a ransom carries a potential life sentence, with a definite term of imprisonment of no less than 3 years. Bringing Daisuke down would be easy. Hachi wasn't worried about that part at all. If he didn't hold back, there's a good chance he'd wind up hurting his father. Holding back. Getting hurt. Baby.
Baby.
A memory from long ago arose in Hachi's mind. Pure white karate gi. Thrusting out his left fist.
Is this when he found out that he was stronger than his father?
Yeah. One of many memories of his father that Hachi could not forget. Kneeling before the memorial altar of his mother, Kitone, Achi wept uncontrollably. He clutched his Ohajiki tightly in his hands.
A small toy made of coin-shaped glass beads, somewhat similar to marbles. The typical game involves flicking one's pieces on the opponents with a fingertip. Specific rules vary greatly by region.
Kind of like, what are they called?
Like a lot of games.
What are
What
those
were you
things?
saying?
The, like, little... They were, like, really popular in, like, the
Pogs?
90s. Pogs. Okay. I wasn't sure if they were called that, or if that was just, like, me misremembering. Null says, Stanley voice, can I get more of these little hero complex bitches? And he's right. He's right to say that. They're good. He should meet Minorikawa.
Ooh, no! Minorikawa? No CIA training prepares you for Minoru Minorikawa. You'd crumble. It's like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Just like he'd immediately... Minorikawa would know the nuclear launch codes.
Achi had always been rather clinging with his mother. When she was alive, she had often joined him for ohajiki, origami, and the like. On this particular day, Achi had come home miserable after getting bullied by the neighborhood kids for acting like a wimp. Achi. Oh no, that's Daisuke.
Achi,
He turned to see his father, holding 2 cups of shaved ice.
come here for a bit.
They sat on the stairs together, eating their sweet frozen confections.
You want to get tougher?
Daisuke's words were soft and simple.
How about you and me get tougher together?
Achi looked up at his father, frowning in confusion. Baby Achi. Baby Achi voice.
How are we gonna do that?
You sound like Sagawa!
Oh, I need to adjust it.
This is Daisuke.
Well, for starters, how about we learn some karate? Karate?
Achi's face twisted up unhappily at the idea. Couldn't even imagine himself punching or kicking anyone.
He couldn't imagine himself doing a beatdown on anyone.
Yeah.
It'll be alright. I'll go with you. Don't you worry.
Daisuke flexed one of his scrawny arms. Biceps bulged up the tiniest bit. Achi was well aware that his father wasn't much of an athlete. There had been an athletics meet at his grade school. Even now, the memory of Daisuke tripping clumsily during the parent participation relay was burned into Achi's mind.
A type of children's event where the parents who have come to watch their children compete are asked to join in with them. Daisuke took part in a tug of war, only get tangled up in the rope and dragged over the line. Achi was understandably disheartened by his father's embarrassing display, but after eating the lunch his father had made for him, his spirits quickly returned. Daisuke had made rice balls that were clumsily oversalted. Achi could tell how hard he'd worked to prepare them. I guess. I mean, if you're gonna be there.
So the two began training together at a local karate dojo. Achi put on his white gi and fastened his obi tight. Obi. As he did so, he felt as if his feelings were being anchored in place as well. Ichi.
Ichi!
Ni! Son!
Achi's gi sleeves made a whooshing sound as he thrust out his fists in time with the sensei's charm. Even simple kata practice made him feel like he was getting stronger somehow. His dad, having left Suzune in the care of the neighbors, was working up a sweat alongside him. But he was out of shape. His technique was shaky. He was soon exhausted, went to lean up against the dojo wall. Achi stepped out of the training circle and called out to his father.
Dad, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a little break.
Daisuke sounded like he was on the edge of hyperventilating.
Thanks, Dad.
Huh? What for?
For asking me to come take karate lessons with you.
Achi was sure he'd never have dared to go to that dojo alone.
Hey, just so long as you're liking it. Now go on. Get back to training.
With a deep bow, Achi resumed his kata practice. As they were walking home from the dojo, Achi turned to his father.
How come you want to get stronger, Dad? I mean, you're not getting bullied by your friends.
Daisuke was quiet for a few moments before answering. His words came out awkward and embarrassed.
I was picked on a lot when I was your age too, Achi. I had a friend who would always come and bail me out.
A friend?
Yeah. A friend.
Oh.
Tadano!
A distant look came to his father's eyes.
He was a real fighter. I always looked up to him. I wanted to be strong, like him.
His expression turned lonely.
I don't get to see him anymore, though.
Why not? Did he die?
No, nothing like that.
And did you guys have a fight?
Something, I don't know.
Something like that.
Daisuke smiled sadly. He stared out into the sky for a while before speaking up again.
His name's Tatano.
Hmm?
My friend. That's his name.
Achi's father increased his pace.
Come on. We have to go and pick up Suzune.
After that, despite Achi's questions, Daisuke would say no more about his old friend.
And then he forgot about him. Well, I guess maybe not. It's not like he ever got the man with the cane's name.
Yeah. By the time he was almost done with grade school, Achi had grown up fit and strong, almost unrecognizable from his younger self.
He's
Perhaps
fucking
he had a
yoked.
physical knack in him all along. He was chosen as the representative for the boys' karate team, even managing to take second place in a national tournament. Nobody
Jeez.
bullied Achi anymore. One time, Daisuke suggested that the two of them do some sparring. Achi may have been a natural competitor, still, sure, but he was still a grade schooler squaring off against an adult. His
You're
father had been
right,
training for
probably
close to- Hmm?
No, he does know. He learned that when he figured out why they were being chased and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think he knows the full picture, but he knows that Daisuke sent someone to try and kill and capture Hitomi. Yeah, we'll find out, I guess. His father had been training for close to 2 years now as well. His confidence had grown accordingly. Achi was excited to be able to face off against his old man.
Ooh.
Early on in their karate training, Achi's kumite had seemed rather hopeless. He'd been shocked that his out-of-shape father was able to overpower him, but also pleased to get a sense of how strong the man was. This time, Achi thought, he might well lose again, but he was going to go all out. They adopted their fighting stances. Daisuke's face was full of confidence.
Why wouldn't he be?
The instructor gave the signal to begin, and Achi opened with a sharp low kick. Daisuke didn't guard against it. The blow caught him in the thigh. It looked to Achi like he'd allowed himself to take the hit, not fearing the effect of a child's kick. Achi proceeded to unleash several more low kicks to the same spot.
Need a beat down!
Bit by bit, Daisuke's face revealed his discomfort. Finally, he yanked his leg away. That was when Achi realized. His father wasn't letting himself get hit on purpose. He was just unable to keep up with the speed of his son's footwork.
Whoa!
If that was the case, Achi felt bad about exploiting his dad's weakness. He decided to leave his leg alone. Instead, he aimed a punch at his father's midsection. He was shocked by the impact as the blow struck home. He hadn't attacked with a great deal of force, just thrown a light midsection punch as a check. Dies. As Achi pulled back his fist, Daisuke crumpled to the floor, writhing in pain as he clutched his gun. Achi stared in disbelief at his own hand. That was the last day that Daisuke went to the dojo.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah.
Your dad's pathetic. Yeah, he's such a loser. Achi was on his way home from practice. Some older students from the dojo had started ribbing on him.
What did you just say?
These kids were middle schoolers, but Achi wasn't about to back down. He thrust out with a quick punch, stopping it just short of one boy's nose.
Go on, say that again. I'll kick your ass.
The older boys went pale, then took off and ran. This small victory did nothing to bolster Achi's spirits. His father had looked so small and lonely, heading away after quitting karate. But Achi didn't think there was anything pathetic about that. Sure, maybe by now, he was better at karate than his father. But really, what difference did that make?
Yeah, who cares?
And growing stronger, he'd learned something. Using force to win out over someone else didn't mean anything. Strength alone didn't determine a person's worth. Achi loved and respected his father for going to the dojo. Beating him in a karate match didn't change the way he felt. Achi resurfaced from his memories to hear Stanley talking on his phone. I see. So that's what's going on. Once we're finished with things in Dogenzaka, I will bring Hitomi right back to the precinct. Curious, Achi turned to the mirror. Maybe B? B seems like a good general question.
Yeah, B seems like, what was that? What's up, man? Whoa, yeah, what?
Stanley's reply was clipped. I know what the rafter know. With that, Stanley proceeded to wrap up his phone call.
Guess I'm not gonna get that much out of this guy.
By now they could see Endo Electronics up ahead. Achi was about to hurry inside when Stanley stopped him. I'll go in first. You two wait out here.
No way. This is my dad we're talking about.
And you don't think it's dangerous to bring Hitomi right to him?
Well, alright. We'll wait here for a bit, and once we know it's safe, we'll head on in. You cool with that?
I'm cool with that. Achi fussed about impatiently, staring at the intruder. The palm of his clenched fist was sweating. Never before in his life had he wanted to just deck his old man. Hitomi watched him uneasily.
Tomi.
Yes?
I'm sorry. I really don't want you to have to see this. But I think you're about to witness the crowning shame in Endo family history.
Archie, don't say that. She squeezed his hand. He found his other fist unclenching. Please, you have to try to talk to your father.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Suddenly, there was a loud crash from inside the building. Time for waiting had paused.
Let's go!
Archie and Natomi raced inside. Barging into the living quarters without bothering to shed his shoes, he heard his father's voice coming from the workroom.
Dad!
Archie hurried through the workroom door and saw Stanley holding his father pinned across the desk.
Let me go! Please, let me go!
Daisuke thrashed both of his legs.
Stanley, please let my father go! I want to talk to him.
Stanley snorted dismissively, but did as he was asked. Daisuke stood up, rubbing at his sore wrist.
Dad, please, you have to tell me. Where is Maria? Maria? What are you talking about?
Daisuke wouldn't meet his eyes.
Don't play dumb with me. You know who this is, don't you? Hitomi Osawa, the girl you've been after. Maria is her sister.
But Daisuke remained silent.
You're gonna pretend you didn't call the hospital? Nothing about maybe you would get your hands on a heart? I mean, seriously? It's all so simple. Even I can tell what's been going on. You've been watching me and Hitomi through the surveillance cameras. And you were telling that guy with the cane where we were.
Blood began to drain from his father's face.
Don't you go quiet on me. If I'm wrong, go ahead. Tell me the truth.
Daisuke's arm shut out suddenly, knocking an external hard drive from his desk onto the floor. It was over and done before Stanley could stop it. Stanley hunched down and picked up the shattered drive. I'm guessing there was important data on here. Footage from the cameras, maybe?
I have no idea what you're talking about. You can't do this to an innocent person, Dad!
Archie shouted, grabbing his father by the collar. There was a sound of footsteps from around the shop. Someone was quickly getting closer. Stanley grabbed Hitomi by the hand and pulled her back against the wall. Oh my god. Archie stiffened as he turned his gaze to the door. Why is she coming into electronics? Like, why is Maria doing that?
Why not?
But why is she?
It's a quirky thing to do.
A little bit quirky with it. This is probably one of those jumps where you jump somewhere.
Yeah,
and
you jump and
the
then
other
jump.
way.
For the pacing reasons. Cause and it's just like, okay, well, oh, what?
What?
Oh, there's a
There's a different jump?
you're right, because this is before. So I guess we have to first do Something with Osawa? Or Minorikawa?
Yes.
If it's Osawa, it would be like real.
Yeah, I really doubt that it's Osawa, because Osawa, again, starts halfway through the hour.
How long is Osawa just like stewing? Like go up from that one? Almost an hour.
Osawa is not a very active guy. He's kind of just very sedentary. I
It's
guess
really
let's do
funny.
Minorikawa and just see what happens.
Yeah.
TV news continued to report on how Mamoru Tanaka had been killed in the minivan explosion.
What? What does this mean? I mean, Hana told us herself that the van explosion was her father committing suicide, didn't she?
The only explanation I can think of is that Hana was lying. He scratched his head as he considered the situation.
But why?
Ozu let out a snort. Well, it would seem Mr. Toyama had her lie in order to deceive us. What an upstanding individual, using his own daughter to buy himself some time. Norikawa wanted to yell at the guy, but he managed to hold his tongue. The important thing was that Toyama was still alive. If he was still alive, there was still a way to save him and publish him. They get the current issue out on time, with a big scoop waiting in the wings for the issue after that. From there on out, it should be smooth sailing. Well, no matter. Seeing as Mr. Toyama isn't dead after all, we'll just wait here for him. He sat back down on the sofa. But Sagawa leaned threateningly toward Chiaki.
Hey! You sure you don't know where the guy's hiding out? I don't. And even if I did, I'd never tell you.
He said, say what now? Sorry, I skipped past it.
What now?
He leaned in even closer, just as she stood on her tiptoes in defiance, and their foreheads collided with a dull thud. Both reeled back, clutching their heads in their hands. Just calm down, Chiaki, Norikawa said as he began rooting around Toyama's desk. For now, I'm going to look for clues to where Toyama might have gone. You just focus on writing. This is not what he sounds like. For now, I'm just going to look for clues to where Toyama might have gone. You just focus on working on your article. Oh? Getting all cooperative all of a sudden, I see. I want to change up the plan for next month's issue, and I can't do that without the editor-in-chief's approval. What Minorikawa was actually looking for, however, was a back issue of 4-Star General Gossip. He was pretty sure the article on Osawa had been printed in the magazine's inaugural issue. If he could find that scandalous piece that the scientists are asked for, he'd also be able to get his big lead about the power balance of the world being at stake. If he could get that, not only would next month's issue be a sure thing, it was a good bet that sales figures would go through the roof. He found a file folder full of early material and quickly flipped through it. It didn't take him long to find the article. Flounder of kosher pharmaceutical arranged a marriage of political convenience. The large headline practically jumped off the page. Norikawa quickly read over the story. The basic gist of it was this. The corporate director of Akoshi Pharmaceutical had sacrificed his daughter in order to keep a researcher named Kenji Osawa on board. The daughter, however, had previously been dating another man. That must be what Osawa wanted him to look into. The guy his wife had been dating before they were married. Should be easy enough to just Oscar if they'd written the article. Norikawa's gaze jumped to the end of the piece, looking for the writing credit. The piece had been written by Toyama himself.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Hey, ain't you done yet? Tell us where Toyama is already.
Yeah, we're gonna need to do something about these guys. I'm still looking into it. Just hold on. He made a show of opening and closing various desk drawers. The drawers themselves are packed with a jumbled mess of electrical and gas bills, Noodle House delivery menus, and the like.
Look faster!
Maybe he could mollify this guy by having some noodles delivered for dinner. Hey, are you guys hungry? I was thinking of ordering some soba.
Man, this ain't no time for that! Besides, we just had some soba anyhow! And it was awful! Don't talk to me about noodles!
Sagawa launched into a shadowboxing session, which trying to punch out the provider of his disappointing soba. The guy clearly had
dude.
zero capacity for sitting still. That guy's a real one.
Yeah,
Punch my evil soba.
it's punching the evil soba, punching it out.
Norikawa had found the back issue of the gossip he was looking for. He still needed Chiaki's article, though. She wasn't quite finished yet. He had to buy some more time. By the way, are you familiar with SOS? This is, Sagawa.
SOS?
Looks like Paws mid-jab. Yeah, SOS. I was planning on interviewing them later today. Hear they're some pretty tough guys.
Huh. Only one of them would be able to give me a fight, probably be that Achiendo. Said I hear it. He led the gang.
Aha, really now? Or anything else interesting?
Sounds like they're being run by some guy named Susumu nowadays.
The name Susumu rang a bell. Those two young punks had been arguing after the van explosion you mentioned him.
Seems like SOS is a pretty rough state since Achi left, though.
Norikawa didn't misspeak. What do you mean, rough state?
Back in the day, they were all goody two-shoes. Never shake folks down or steal or any of that stuff. Guess their founder actually hated that sort of thing. But now that he's out, a lot of rough and tumble, hot-blooded types would sign up with them. Smart move is to not get involved with SOS nowadays, really. Hard to find a scary bunch around here, especially when there's a lot of them together.
Mm-hmm. And their main hangout. That's at Inferno, yeah?
Yeah, over in Harajuku.
Known as Urahara, for short. The area east of the Japan Rail Harajuku Station, around where Takashi Tadori meets Meiji Dori. There are many small clothing and accessory stores here, set up in renovated houses. Most of these shops are on the cutting edge of youth fashion, offering quirky and unique means of personal expression.
Man, you've been listening on the streets. What gives?
Harajuku, huh? Minarkara smiled to himself. Inferno's location had practically fallen into his lap. Suddenly, Sagawa's eyes went wide.
Aha! So that's where Toyama is! Wait. Nah. No way a coward like him would go to a place like that.
Chiaki looked up from her keyboard.
Look, can you please shut up? No, you shut up!
That's my phone. It was Toyama's name on the incoming call screen. Oh my god. Norikar's heart skipped a beat. Toyama, where are you? Chiaki Ozutsagawa turned to look at him as one. This is Toyama.
Well,
What were you thinking, faking your death like that? Even if we could fill those pages and postpone repayment... Oh no, wait. This is... Toyama.
even if we could fill those pages and postpone repayment, all it would do is delay the inevitable. I'd still be up to my ears in debt. So I thought, if I made it look like I was dead...
Norikar let out an exasperated sigh. Well, everyone already knows you're still alive. Your little attempt at subterfuge didn't even wind up buying you time.
What?
Toyama's hysterical squeak was painful to hear. Alright, listen up. If it's the debt you're worried about, you'll be able to pay that back real soon.
What do you mean?
I've landed a huge scoop. You could do a print run of 1 million copies and still sell out if we can run it as an article. Toyama perked right up.
Wait, you really mean it?
I'll give you all the details. Just get your butt back here.
But aren't those loan sharks there at the office right now?
Fine, then I'll come to you. Tell me where you are. The two thugs crowded near, a predatory gleam in their eyes. Minorikawa had a flash of inspiration. Got it, he said quickly, before Toyama could respond. Miyashita Park. I'm on my way now. Don't go anywhere. Ozu and Scout grinned at one another and bolted out the door. Oh my god.
Losers.
So fucking
Losers.
stupid. Heh, Norikawa said, as if footsteps receded. Those guys took the bait. I sent them to Miyashita Park.
But I am at Miyashita Park!
He let himself a cocksure grin. Right then. So where are you really, Toyama?
You imbecile! I am at Miyashita Park!
What? Norikawa felt the urge to pull his hair out. What the hell are you doing someplace like that? Why the...
Why the hell did you tell them Miyashita Park?
I thought it would be a clever ruse. I love Norikawa so much.
Well, it wasn't! This is no time to be fighting!
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Toyama, those guys are headed your way. We need you to get out of there. Go someplace we can talk. I can meet you there.
Right. Okay.
They needed someplace safe and public where they could speak freely. Someplace where the staff wouldn't be overly nosy. But where? Should I go to Noodle House or should I go to Cafe Logic again?
I mean, they're not gonna go to the Noodle House. And it's funnier.
Yeah. Pulling the Noodle House to the menu we'd seen earlier. He opted for that.
Doganut, huh?
Toyama rumbled the words under his breath. What's the matter? Is there some problem with that?
Oh, no. Alright, I'll meet you there. It's over in Dogenzaka. The address is on the menu.
He hung up, but Minoru quickly gathered his belongings. Chiaki, how's that copy coming along?
Well... almost done? Just a little more, I think.
Alright, bring your computer and come with me. I'll read over what you've got so far. Minoru waited as Chiaki got ready to head to the cafe. As the two were heading out of the office, however, someone else opened the door. The writer submits to the
The writer
editor.
submits to the editor. The editor submits to the designer. This is the next step in that whole handoff process. Naturally, being late for this causes quite a lot of trouble.
You've got 14 minutes and 57 seconds left to send to press. 56. 55. Who's this guy? Slender man with a gaudy
Who's
necktie
this
entered
guy?
the room and sat down on the nearest desk, staring fixedly at his pocket watch. Norcard narrowed his eyes dubiously. Who the hell are you?
Always make sure to show up 15 minutes ahead of the appointed time. That's just common decency.
Man gave no indication he'd even heard Norcard's question. Oh no, wait.
I suppose I can wait here. Just for another 14 minutes and 20 seconds. Mr. Mino? Is this guy talking about our submission?
Jackie stared doubtfully at the newcomer. Hey, you! Are you from the printer? The man did not reply. Don't ignore me! Are you from the printer? Still, the man remained silent. Norcard was furious. Look, cut the crap! In response, the man quietly reached into his suit pocket and pulled out his business card.
My name is not Hey You.
He handed the card to Minorikawa. It read, Cho Nippon Printing Co. Limited, Sales Department, Division Number 1, Kochiro Katayama. Koichiro. I'm Kochiro. Oh, no, you were doing this guy.
I'm Kochiro Katayama, newly assigned to Heaven Publishing. A pleasure to meet you. My predecessor is in the hospital due to a car accident.
Sachio Usui, 39 years old, single. A longtime veteran at Cho Nippon Printing. Rather timid by nature, the strain of dealing with publishers makes him sick to his stomach. At around 1:10 p.m. earlier today, while driving to meet with one of his clients, he had to swerve to avoid a young man and woman who darted into the street. He crashed into the car next to him and ended up at the hospital. God.
I love when it just like, by the way, this is because of another character's fault.
Yeah. But like hours ago.
Yeah.
He should make a complete recovery in about 2 months.
Well, what are you doing here, Katayama? I thought we had until 8 o'clock to complete proofreading.
8 o'clock? Surely you must be joking. Our company's proofing deadline is 5:30.
Katayama stared fixedly back at Minorikawa. Now that had to be a joke. I heard from the editor-in-chief that it was 8 o'clock.
I take that to mean, then, that you don't have any copy for us.
It's not that we don't have it, it's just not finished yet. Just hold on until 8. Katayama raised an eyebrow.
No. Publisher and printer need to work in concert. Perhaps my predecessor, was the sort to delay the proofreading deadline owing to your circumstances here. But now I'm in charge, and I do not make exceptions. The proofing deadline is 5:30 sharp, and I intend to keep it that way.
Alright, Minorikawa, there's only one thing you can do.
Kill this guy.
Kill this guy. Kidnap him.
And while you've been having this discussion, you're down to 12 minutes and 32 seconds.
Katayama held out his pocket watch to emphasize the point. He's doing that lieutenant thing. That's ridiculous! I love Minorikawa's finger in this image because it's like, it really looks like photorealistic fingered PNG that's been photoshopped.
Yeah.
Just who the hell do you think you are? You guys are going to be printing a paper that I wrote. Do you even know how lucky that makes you? So just wait, okay? Just give us Just give us 3 more days.
8 o'clock. Let's not fucking shit around. We'll do it until 8.
Just give us until 8 o'clock. That was the original understanding. It was unfair to change it now.
8 o'clock. And where's your guarantee that you'll finish by then?
We will. Just trust me.
I'm supposed to heedlessly trust the word of a man I've just met? We're down to 10 minutes and 40 seconds, by the way.
You son of a bitch. Don't get all high and mighty just because you work for the printer.
High and mighty? I'd say it's the people on the publishing side of things that act high and mighty. Whatever high-minded claims you might make, without us, you'd have nothing to put on the store shelves.
I love how fucking, like, dramatic and evil this guy is, because it's like...
Yeah.
He really does, like, the fucking pocket watch affect. You work for a printer, dude. Like...
You work for a printer, dude. And also, like, look. You don't know what's going on right now, man.
Forgetting that and blithely ignoring your proofing deadline makes for more work on our end. Just what are you getting at, I wonder? Now it's 10 minutes and 20 seconds.
Murdoch ground his teeth so hard he could hear it. His usual tactics are useless here. Katayama was simply too unflappable to be browbeaten.
The rock, paper, scissors match up. He's losing it.
Now, though,
but Jack Stanley could kick this dude's ass.
Yeah.
10 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. I realize his little point, but I'll wait until the designated time. That's just common decency.
Katayama's pet phrase. Thus far, he has said, "That's just common decency," 3 times in this story.
Always make sure to show 15 minutes ahead of the appointed time. I realize his little point, but I'll wait until the designated time.
There was one more. Do you know when and where it was? little play with the friends.
Yeah. Katayama's eyes were once again locked on his pocket watch. It was no use. Norikar couldn't find a way to talk this guy around. Chucky held her hand up. She said, "May I say something?"
Isn't it also common decency not to break a promise once it's made? If you're referring to the 8 o'clock deadline, I was not the one who promised that. Maybe not, but I believe your predecessor's responsibilities become your responsibilities.
Katayama crossed his arms and gave her a bemused look.
What's your name, miss?
Chucky. Chucky Iso.
His expression brightened visibly.
Good. That timid hesitation of yours was just splendid. You have none of the arrogance so typical among publishers.
Huh?
Chiaki was taken rather aback.
In deference to your polite demeanor, I shall wait until 7 o'clock. That is the latest I can possibly allow.
All right. We agree to these terms.
No, I wasn't talking to you.
But we've got terms of our own. Oh no, wait, maybe that was Katayama that said no, I wasn't.
No, I wasn't talking to you. I'm not certain you're in any position to set terms here.
Just shut up and listen. From here on out, you're coming with us.
What? Why?
We're gonna finish up our copy on site, then burn the data onto CD and hand it over to you there. That's why. Kanayo let out a sigh of resignation as he joins the party.
Oh, very well. I suppose I'd simply be waiting here anyway.
Murakawa pumped his
Okay.
fist to victory.
Alright,
Alright,
Minorukawa.
Go and copy the DTP data we got so far onto your computer.
Sure thing, Mr. Mino.
Chiaki quickly set about copying the data from the editing department's desktop.
Okay, done.
Then let's go! The others in tow, Murakawa headed to the northern noodle house where Toyama would be waiting. Soba restaurant Dogen Hub is roughly halfway up Dogenzaka. A long-standing noodle shop on Dogenzaka. 2 years ago, the owner passed away from illness. Now the restaurant is run by his widow, Maki Yonaida, and her 2 part-timers, Masa from Midoriyama Academy, and Mohinder, an Indian exchange student. Despite the sign billing the establishment as a soba restaurant, duck meat soba and chilled curry soba are the only 2 actual soba offerings, and the rest of the menu for some reason is all udon dishes. In fact, both kinds of soba are terrible, though maybe the chilled curry soba would be okay if someone else were making it. So, this is the place that the lady who really likes Achi works at. From ages ago in the story. Like, remember early when they're walking down Dogenzaka and there's the old lady who's like, "Oh, Achi, you got yourself a girlfriend." Do you remember that?
I think so.
And
Oh,
then
yeah, now I remember. Now I remember completely, yes.
Yeah, she's with Hitomi. And so...
Yeah.
Inside, they encountered the proprietress near the door. She held a massive cleaver for cutting soba noodles clutched in one hand. Toyama wasn't there. Excuse me. Has a middle-aged man come by your shop? Name's Toyama. The proprietress let out a weary sigh.
That guy, huh? You folks know him?
Yes, that's right.
Then I'm sorry. I didn't want to have to do this. It was all his fault, though. You reap what you sow.
Murakawa didn't know what she was going on about.
This is maybe the wrong choice.
But suddenly had a very bad feeling. So then, Toyama was here?
Yes. He came by.
Well, where is he now? Please tell me.
No. I have no obligation to tell anything to friends of Toyama.
Evidently, there was bad blood between Toyama and this woman.
The real victim here is me.
Her voice rose abruptly to a roar.
Now listen up good to this old woman's story.
I don't have time for this. He needed to find Toyama as soon as possible, but instead it looked like he'd be stuck hearing out this angry woman first. Right, we're listening. Tell us your story.
It's a long one.
The woman's mouth twisted up, and she licked her lips, leaning in to tell her tale.
Long, long ago, when I was still in my 20s, I would often make deliveries to Heaven's Publishing.
I love this shot with the fucking face and the cleaver.
They were some of my best customers. Back then, we were so busy, my employees practically worked themselves to death.
You see, Dogen Hut had the finest soba in Japan. And our spokesmodel was considered one of the most beautiful girls in the world.
Back when this woman was in her 20s, Heaven Publishing hadn't even existed yet. But when Urquhart figured he'd better not correct her. That would probably just piss her off and make her stop entirely. He kept his mouth shut and listened to her silly tale.
But anyway, that's all in the past now. As time went on, we had a lot of delivery customers asking us to put their bills on their tab. So much so that it became a problem, and so we changed our policy to disallow that sort of thing. But the fine folks of Heaven Publishing considered themselves an exception to that rule. And that put my part-timer, Masa, who does deliveries, in a bit of a bind.
Okay.
Oh, Masa's a student at the Midoriyama Academy.
A first-year student in Midoriyama Academy. After getting indigestion from eating too much parfait at a fast food restaurant on Center Guy, he was there with his girlfriend to do a dry run for a competitive eating contest. He wound up going to the restroom 14 times in 1 hour. Unable to stand by, his girlfriend called an acquaintance first, the gluttonous Chiriko Osugi.
Knowing, however, it turned out, however, that Chiriko was planning on to compete in the same contest. Knowing that they were up against a monumental competition, the two continued their training. Wary of battle to come. We saw this guy, yeah.
Yeah, this guy was in the restaurant that when
Both
Aichi
Hitomi and Aichi were like in that parfait shop.
Yeah, and he got spaghetti.
And he was like, oh, is that Hitomi from your school?
Yeah.
But wasn't sure.
Yeah.
He took the day off to go on a date with his girlfriend. I hear they're complaining to compete as a couple in some ice cream eating contest that's going to air on TV. So they were going to practice run together today. Honestly, how ridiculous is that?
Honestly, I couldn't care less about Masa one way or the other. This whole experience is turning into a real ordeal.
So yes, we were in a real bind. I run a restaurant here, not a charity operation. I'd call and ask them to settle up, but they'd always insist, oh, we don't have any money. And that's a lie. It's got to be a lie. What else could it be? Otherwise, how could they keep making that magazine of theirs? That Celebrity Confidential, or whatever the hell it is.
Celebrity Confidential was a weekly tabloid put out by one of Heaven Publishing's competitors. Nurikawa was just going to have to let that egregious mix-up slide.
And that's not all. Oh no. On top of that, their magazine's little gourmet Gabs corner, or whatever they call it, ran a scathing review of us. After that, customers started keeping their distance, and I aged 20 years practically overnight.
That's it. Gourmet Gabs is a column that ran in Celebrity Confidential. There was nothing of the sort in Sports General Gossip. Somebody clearly got the two magazines mixed up somehow.
What? Awful. Just awful, isn't it? All I wanted to do was to make soba for people to enjoy. And so to be treated like this.
What a chunk of lore to just drop in the middle of this. It's very funny. Just like, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and almost none of it matters.
Yeah, I think this is all a lot of lore for a bad end.
Yeah, it's one of those lore bad end moments where you just find out about stuff, and then it's completely irrelevant. To be
treated like this.
The woman had started to sob. The cleaver began to waver in her trembling hand.
But then, earlier today, these two Yakuza-looking fellows came by. Said they were looking for Toyama from Heaven Publishing. Guess they saw one of our menus at the office and decided he might have come by.
She had to be talking about Ozu and Sagawa.
She ratted him out!
They'd both been nearby when Murakawa was rooting through the desk drawers. They must have spotted the menu then.
I told them he wasn't here and hadn't ordered delivery in some time. So they said if I happened to see him, to give them a call. Now, I was just going to turn them away. They look like a pair of nasty loan sharks. Jim would never be able to pay off his tab if they caught him. And so I told them as much.
The proprietress lowered her voice before continuing.
They said they'd be most appreciative if I could let them know. Even offered to pay his tab for me if I did. And well, that pretty much settled it. So I let them give me their phone number.
Murakawa's face went pale. This lady was
Toyama's
bribed
dead.
by those two thugs?
And so I guess you figured it out. A little earlier, Toyama dropped by, looking like he was trying to lie low. So it all came together. I snuck out back and gave those two a call. And so here we are. You guys were just a hair too late. We need to go somewhere else.
Oh crap. Toyama had been carted off by the moneylenders. Murakawa had to find him right away.
Mr. Mino! We have to hurry up and go look for him.
Yeah. Murakawa and the others headed for the door.
Wait!
The voice sounded as if it had echoed up from the very depths of hell. Murakawa and company stopped in their tracks.
You think I can just let you go?
The old woman began to stalk towards them.
Those guys, they left without showing their appreciation or paying off the tab. They lied to me. And so just who's going to show me the appreciation I'm owed? Who's going to pay that tab? You're all in this together, trying to play me for a fool. But hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
The proprietress lifted her cleaver high. Her eyes smoldered with inhuman rage. A murderous order surrounded her like a bonfire wind. Wait! We're Toyama's!
His friends, then prepare yourselves! You'll repay his debt to me with your lives!
Why would that help? That doesn't help you. The three companions stood paralyzed in horror, watching their bloody doom approach.
Killed an unrelated printer guy!
The blade glimmered in the dimness as she swung it toward Murakawa.
Time for some fresh meat!
What? It's the printer guy, though.
She got the printer guy too.
Murakawa,
Yes, she
Chiaki, and
got the
Kadayama
printer guy
screamed.
too!
Their cries echoing clear across Tokusaka. Autumn just stands there, lets it happen. Yeah, you know, sometimes you're just too scared. She activated her fear gaze.
Yeah, to be fair, she activated, like, the Satsi no Hado.
Gardred, it's Kadayama's fault that we're late, so it's good he died in this bad end. That bad end took so fucking long.
is so scary.
Tragedy at the Noodle House. View all bad endings in the 5 o'clock time block? Are you kidding me? What? What?
Huh?
I just got an
Huh?
achievement for getting all of the bad endings in this time block.
Oh, okay. Well, great news.
Great news! Got all
That
of
was
them!
the only
One!
bad end in this time block.
That's like a relief, I guess.
I guess that's the only one in this time block. Wait, did that also tell you that this is the last time block?
No, I don't think it's the last time block. I don't know for sure.
Anyway, that horrible. Let's. No, that place is way emptier now because it doesn't have the parents.
Yeah.
It doesn't have Kano's in-law in it no more, so it's fine.
Then I think this is just all the same.
However, you've got 14 minutes and 57 seconds left.
They reached Cafe Electric without incident, and Minorikawa promptly spotted the publisher.
Over here!
Tiama hissed, eyeing the surroundings with obvious unease. Hana sat by
Hey,
his side.
Riley, can you take over Chikai because
Yeah, I can do
I just
Chiaki.
realized I did it again.
Soul, classic soul moment. But yeah, I can do Chiaki. I can do Chiaki and Hana, if Hana talks.
Yeah, I just rather be the evil printer guy.
Yeah, no, you do a good Katayama. The waitress came over as Minorikawa joined them. Do you still want to be the waitress?
May I take your order?
Water.
Just water, sir?
Fine, make it a double.
He's the worst person in the world sometimes. Jesus Christ.
I really love Chiaki's laptop. Chiaki's laptop is really
Oh
good.
my god, it has fucking, like...
Frills. It's frilled.
Frills.
It's fucking gorgeous. Look at that. Yeah, Minorikawa's face here is fucking great. He's just like... He's having a great time. Exasperated, the waitress headed back to the kitchen. Also, Katayama is sitting on the table across from them.
I wouldn't sit next to these fucking clowns.
Chiama looked over at Katayama.
Who's this guy? I'm Koichiro Katayama from Chonippon Printing.
Katayama presented his business card. Tiama turned to Minorikawa with a quizzical look.
What's someone from the printer doing with you?
I'll explain later. There's no time for that right now.
Ain't no time for that, Goku.
First, I need you to answer some questions. Does the name Kenji Osawa ring any bells?
Osawa?
I love Toyama's face in this one. Toyama had so many good faces.
Yeah.
Toyama closed his eyes and thought. He heads up a laboratory at Okushi Pharmaceutical. You ran a piece on him in the first ever issue of 4-Star Journal Gossip. Toyama's face lit up with recognition. Yeah. Autumn says, I want that green drink. Yeah, Hannah's eating some strange green goo.
Ah, yes! The political marriage piece!
Yeah, that one. Do you remember the details from that article?
Of course! Who do you think I am?
Toyama puffed himself up proudly.
I used to be local news copy editor for Central Times! I've got all the details for all the stuff I've ever covered here in my head.
In that case, do you know who Kenji Osawa's wife was dating before they got married? Toyama blinked his eyes vacantly. Hey, what's the matter?
This is a pretty tough pop quiz you're giving me.
Surprise, kids. It's time for a science quiz.
It's time for a science quiz! What colorless, odorless glass, lighter than air, and used for consumer municipal gas applications is also known as marsh gas or swamp gas? Helium, ethylene, propane, methane. Tune in next time for the answer.
What's
Riley?
everyone's guess? I think it's methane.
I also think it's methane.
Yeah. I'm
I
going
don't
with methane.
think propane is marsh gas.
Yeah.
Chat?
Chat, place your votes now. Chat, everyone who's watching, pick an answer for the pop quiz.
Helium, ethylene, propane, methane. Which one's swamp gas?
We're going
No, look it up online.
Don't look it up. If
All
you look
right,
it up,
all right.
You get banned.
We're all in agreement that it's methane. Let's see if they actually have it next time.
What the crap, man? You just said you have all the details inside your head.
Oh, they're in there all right. They're just not coming out.
Murakawa slumped. Mr. Toyama, please. Whether or not you'll be able to pay off your debts depends on your memory here. Hearing this, Hana cast a cold glare up at her father.
Ugh. All right.
He's such a sad turtle man.
I can remember. Or at least I can try.
Toyama folded his arms and hummed to himself, his gaze turned inward.
So... I feel like it was a really common name.
Sato.
No, wait, I'm
Oh wait,
cheating.
I was gonna give that to you.
Sato. Yamada. Was it either of those? They're pretty common names. But Toyama shook his head. Norikawa offered a guess of his own. Tanaka.
No, not that. It was something else.
Just then, the television inside the cafe switched over to a news report on the Shibuya explosion.
The remains of the individual discovered within the minivan itself, who has since been identified as pharmaceutical company executive Mamoru Tanaka.
It's probably Toyama.
Mamoru Tanaka?
Toyama turned around to look at the TV. An image of the victim's face appeared on the screen.
Boah!
Publisher blurted, nearly falling out of his seat.
That's it! It was him, right there! Mamoru Tanaka!
That's what I said, Tanaka. Toyama pointed excitedly at the TV screen.
That's who Kenji Osawa's wife was dating before they got married! Mamoru Tanaka!
Norikawa felt himself getting goosebumps. The victim of the terrorist bombing in Shibuya was also linked to the researcher who was key to a terrorist viral scare. His reporter's hunch was now a certainty. Right now, Shibuya was at the center of some massive conspiracy. This went far beyond even a major scoop. Mr. Toyama, we need to make sure that next month's issue hits shelves. Green goo. Norcott called up Kenji Osawa to let him know the results of his little investigation. The man didn't seem
Okay,
terribly
well.
surprised. Probably he'd had his suspicions all along. Osawa
Well,
told him
good
that
to
there was
know.
something he needed to do before he's ready to give details on the big scoop, but that he would call back later. In the meantime, Norikawa knew he'd have his hands full getting the current issue of the gossip wrapped up for the 7 o'clock deadline. He slapped his hands down on the table. Alright, emergency editing meeting, right here. We need to get a lead in on the Shibuya terrorist bombing into the next issue. Your toxic player says cheap viewers on UnkerTweb. Don't click that link. The article about the twins winning the beauty contest can be dropped for that. We use the info from Kenji Osawa as the basis for our big scoop in the issue after that. Mr. Toyama, any problems with that?
No, that should be fine. But what about the remaining pages for next month's issue?
Norikawa opened the file on his computer. The layout built into DTP came up on the monitor. Report on the Burning Hammer sales demo. The surveillance camera opinion piece. I love the, circle of the guy's face on the left.
Look at him!
He's so angry. The fucking Mr. Yanagashita in the bottom right of the article.
Yeah!
The interview with Oren. Those three were finished. The copy already incorporated into the layout. Once Chiaki's street interview piece is loaded in, that one can be checked off as well. Chiaki, how's your copy coming along? I'm sorry. I just need a little bit longer. Writing seems to still be giving her a fair bit of trouble. The article in SOS was still just a placeholder in the layout. Norikawa hadn't even gotten any material for that, putting it even further behind than Chiaki's street interviews. Still, he'd at least learned where Shibuya's legendary street gang made their hangout. He'd just have to take the risk of dropping in on them unannounced to ambush them with some interview questions. And then there was the lead-in for Shibuya bombing. That wasn't even in the layout yet. It was a completely blank slate. And still odds, they're going to need to put that article together with nothing with just an hour and change. It was an impossible amount of work for just him and Chiaki to do. Who's this? Oh, that's Katayama.
What'd he say?
Well, and how are things coming along?
Katayama rose and came closer, trying to peer at the monitor. Norikawa hurried to cover the screen. Don't look. If the printer wipes all the blank pages, he might decide to stop waiting. This is Katayama.
Would you mind telling me roughly what % of the total you have completed things so far?
What percent? Come off it, man. We're at 100%.
If you're 100% done, that implies you're all finished. Could I please have the data then?
No. I'm saying our willpower is at 100%.
I'm not even going to pretend I understand what you mean by that.
Shaking his head, Katayama sat back down in his chair.
Minorikawa. So, I know I asked before, but why is someone from the printer here again?
Katayama promptly chimed in.
Oh, this is so good!
Circle.
The long and short of it is that your proofing deadline has been changed to 7 o'clock.
What? But that's impossible! Who's doing the lead-in for the Shibuya bombing?
Chiyama eyed Minorikawa and then Chiaki. Both stared back non-committally.
Then it really is impossible. We'll never meet that deadline. We don't have enough people.
No, we do have enough. Norcar thrust out his finger. Mr. Toyama, you're going to write that one and handle the layout.
What?
Heaven Publishing is your company. Won't you step up in order to protect it? Toyama hung his head.
Even if I headed to the scene right now, I'm sure the other outlets have already got their coverage. I wouldn't be able to find anything new to write about. Whoa!
Yes! Epic!
Yes!
Epic! And so you're just going to give up? A moment later, Toyama's on the floor, Norcar glaring down at him. You've always said you wanted to tell the world about the things the mass media can't or won't write about. So what the hell difference does it make if they've already gotten a soundbite thereafter? Norcar's voices roar with emotion. Don't you dare give up. Not that easily. Get your ass out there. Find something that only you can write about.
Minorikawa!
Town began to object, but he glanced over at Hana. There was an imploring look in her eyes as well. It's very effective to inspire an old man by punching him and yelling at him in public. Yeah, it's true. It works.
I get what you're saying, but still, you're expecting a lot.
Then, despite his words, he flashed a broad grin. Yeah. And it's got you all fired up.
Yeah. I'm fired up, all right.
Toyama's face shone with a resolve Norcar hadn't seen in a long time. There we go. That's the Toyama I know.
You know, I'm really sorry. Now I see the huge burn I put on you. But damn it, it's going to be all right.
Getting to his feet, Toyama took his daughter by the hand and strode boldly out of the cafe, looking like a changed man. Also, hi, pharmacy. It's Shibuya's grandpa.
Hello.
Norcar watched them go, glad the dithering was over. Even if Toyama were still in his prime, he'd be cutting it close to do that article in an hour. But he would pull through somehow. When it came to taking care of Hana, the man would rise to the occasion again and again. Father and daughter disappeared into the crowd, hand in hand.
And they were never seen again.
Norcar shook himself out of his reverie. All right. Despite the clear blue sky, an unexpected gust of wind blew across his cheek. Come on, guys. We gotta get going, too. Things might look grim, but he wasn't going to give up until the bitter end. It was time to head to the SOS hangout. Inferno. The three ran long and hard after leaving the cafe. At the proving deadline of 7 o'clock, they needed to finish up with the SOS by 6:30 at the latest. The gang's hangout was in Harajuku. Running all the way there on foot was going to eat into too much of their time. But traffic was at a near standstill for some reason. There wasn't a taxi in sight.
How long do you plan on running like this?
Just take a look at the road. With this traffic, there's no point in hailing a cab. Even Norcar was feeling time pressure now. We're just gonna have to keep running until the road's clear.
What?
Stop your whining. Just keep quiet and stick with me. Finally gotten Toyama to find his willpower again. Next month's issue would come out on time. In no way was some printer guy going to mess that up now. But the traffic showed no signs of abating. Catching a cab wasn't going to be an option. Despite an ever louder echo of despair, Murakawa kept up his desperate, headlong rush.
To rush into a situation recklessly or heedlessly, not quite the same as being Daredevil.
True. Still, there were limits to how far the mind could push the body before exhaustion set in. Eek!
Eek. All right, that's it. I forgot again. No, Chikai!
Chiaki fell over. Oh god!
Ooh.
As they were running across a pedestrian overpass, Chiaki slipped and took a nasty fall. She skinned her knee hard enough to draw blood. Hey you! Don't just stand there. Help the poor girl already. Katayama scurried over to Chiaki. I'm sorry, Mr. Mino. Chiaki's voice bubbled with suppressed tears. Maybe it was cruel to make her run with her computer all the way to Harajuku. The copy of her interview still needed to be looked over. They couldn't just leave her here. Murakawa hesitated, undecided. Even at a full run, they wouldn't make it in time. And with traffic the way it was, there was nothing they could do.
You now have exactly 1 hour remaining.
Damn it! What do we do? Relentlessly, the clock ticked on. That's it?
This
That's
might be a bad end that has to be... Oh wait, no, we know there's not a bad end.
That's to be continued. Oh god.
I forgot that we know there's no bad ends in this one anymore.
I guess this is the last hour next, after this one.
Maybe?
Maybe it ends at 7.
I think Aichi maybe just has to do something else.
Yeah.
I think that feels more likely than making the other guys get there earlier to me.
Everything will be okay.
Thanks, Autumn.
Oh, we need a hint for that?
Is it not like Osawa?
No, it's not going to be Osawa.
If you can give me a hint, I wouldn't mind one.
I think it's that I've... What?
1935? No, that's certain. That's what.
Oh! Oh!
Oh my god. I get it. Yeah, okay. It's reasonable. You have to create the jump by bringing him up into the story.
And no?
That's funny.
And no! And then this one lets you jump back to before the fucking Kano one.
God. I love that they give you a jump and it's like a fake out. It's like not a real jump that you want. Doesn't unlock the keep out. Workroom door slowly eased open. Can someone play the Maria soundbite, please? Achi was too shocked for words.
Why did she come here?
The girl who entered looked just like Hitomi.
Maria.
Maria. Maria. I guess it's probably Hitomi. Maria!
Hitomi!
Achi blinked in bewilderment. It was almost as if Hitomi were standing in front of a mirror. The two girls looked so similar. Maria, thank goodness you're all right.
I'm so sorry I had you worried.
Maria was safe, Archie realized. At last, he'd managed to fulfill his duty. We haven't seen the top line of her t-shirt yet, and it makes me so mad, because I
We'll
just want
never
to know...
see it.
You
We'll never see it.
You smoking tea-head. You tea-head.
We'll never see it.
Wait. Daisuke?
You!
Daisuke?
How did you manage to get out of the storeroom?
Daisuke? What? Daisuke? Hey, hang on.
Huh?
Huh? Why'd you do that?
Huh?
Huh? He's working for Alphard?
Tell me. Who was it who came up with this kidnapping plan?
Suddenly, Daisuke shoved Maria aside and lunged for Hitomi. Stanley moved to stop him, but before he could intervene, the older man had a hold on Hitomi, pressing something that looked like a flashlight up against her neck.
Dad?
Archie started towards him, but Stanley held up a hand. Don't move. That's a stun gun. A piece of self-defense equipment for repelling would-be attackers with an electrical shock. There are several types, including baton-type stun prods and guns that fire needles attached to flexible wires. The latter type, especially, is frequently referred to in the US as a taser, or taser gun, due to the popular models produced by Taser International, now Axon. Stun guns are used not only by civilians, but also by law enforcement and military personnel for non-lethal applications. Yeah. That's not surprising.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like that in sort of common parlance. But I didn't know that specifically. If he zaps her in the neck, it could kill her.
Uh-oh. You know you stuff! You deal in American electronics?
No, I do this for a living. Stanley drew his gun in an instant, taking aim at Daisuke's forehead.
I think Aichi was too shocked to even move.
Okay.
I don't remember,
Yeah.
though.
Aichi was too shocked to even move. Stanley took another step towards Daisuke, keeping his gun trained on the other man.
Hey! Stop this! Please! Just stop!
Snapping out of his daze, Aichi scampered between the two men.
Okay, he did it anyway.
Well, there's no bad ends in this hour, so it's literally
Yeah.
fine. Stanley didn't lower his gun, but unless he shoved Aichi aside, he couldn't get a clear shot at Aichi's dad. Aichi turned to face his father.
Dad, let Hitomi go. You need to stop this nonsense.
Aichi walked slowly towards his father, a pleading look in his eyes.
Nonsense? Which one of us is talking nonsense here? You don't know what's going on. If you knew everything, then you'd be helping me.
What do you... Oh, no, that's... you.
What do you mean everything? With this girl's heart, we can save Suzune. Dad, who was it exactly that told you that?
Daisuke did not reply.
I asked you a question. Who was it that put this crazy idea in your head? Foreign organ trafficker I met at the hospital.
In Japan, a medical professional known as a transplant coordinator handles the liaison between the donor and recipient parties. But there are many cases of illegal or borderline illegal activity carried out by third-party organ brokers. There are countries where organ transplants are openly performed for monetary gain, and no shortage of specialists willing to do the job. These questionable markets include suppliers who source viable organs and tissue from a transplant from cadavers. Stanley let out a snort. A likely story.
It's true. I was suspicious at first myself. but I couldn't just sit around and wait for Suzune to die. And after talking to him about her rare blood type and all the difficulties in performing a transplant, he promised he'd do everything in his power.
Daisuke's hands were trembling. Tears welled up in his vacant and bloodshot eyes.
Then, a while later, he got in touch with me and told me he found a potential match. Someone with the same blood type as Suzune and roughly the same age. But then he told me that the girl was still alive. And so what was the point? Her heart might be a match for Suzune, but it didn't matter if we couldn't get our hands on it. And I said that, but then the man told me.
This is probably Achi.
He told you what? He told me to abduct her and turn her over to him. After that, he'd find a way to make it all work.
He was working for Alphard.
He did the kidnapping!
He did the kidnapping. Oh
And
my
that's
god.
that's why he called Tadano!
Yeah. Oh my god. At last, Daisuke had confessed. Now, Hachi had to try to come to grips with the truth he had just heard.
I had to do something. I had to abduct this girl and see things through. I just couldn't take it. Kotone had already been taken from me. The thought of losing Suzune too. I had to make sure I didn't fail.
So it was this organ trafficker who came up with the kidnapping scheme then. He kept his gun aimed at his target. Daisuke nodded. Describe him for me.
He was tall, had black hair, spoke fluent Japanese.
Stanley raised an eyebrow at that. Hachi wondered if he had some idea of who it might be. And taking Maria Osawa hostage in order to lure out Hitomi, that was his idea as well?
Yeah. Yes. That's right. I allowed his computer to access my surveillance camera system as well, and that's how the other assassin also knew where they were. But then, this morning, I got a call from the hospital saying Suzune's condition was critical. I couldn't wait any longer, and that's why I got Tadano to kill him.
Yeah.
I had to help my girl right away.
Daisuke cut himself off, reaffirming his grip on the stun gun.
I was looking at the surveillance monitor, and I saw a detective I happened to know. He was right next to this girl here. And so, I decided to ask him. I knew if I did, he wouldn't refuse. He could never refuse a request from me.
That was the man. No, that's Hachi.
And that was the man with the cane?
His voice is low and hoarse.
Yes, I was giving him directions while I followed you on the monitor. Dad, you need to let go of Hitomi, now. There's no point to this.
Hachi took another step closer to his father.
There is a point! If I kill this girl here and now, your sister could get the surgery she needs!
But even Hachi knew that things couldn't possibly work out that way. His father had grown so desperate to help Suzune that he'd lost all sense of judgment.
Why, Achi? Why won't you help me? Don't you want to save Suzune?
Daisuke made a pathetic sight, and yet his desperation to save his child was so palpable it was heart-rending. Achi thought back to that time he'd laid his father out when sparring. No matter how pathetic he may have looked, Achi had always felt that sense of paternal love from him. You're not going to be able to talk him down. Achi shook his head.
Stanley, lower your gun.
Tears were rolling up in his eyes.
Please. Lower your gun.
Hearing the determination in Achi's voice, Stanley quietly complied.
I love that Stanley is like way more willing to do whatever Aichi says over fucking Kana.
Yeah, because Achi's the real one.
She's real.
Achi stepped up to Daisuke, getting a firm grip on his father's slender shoulder.
Dad, of course I want to help Suzune. Then why are you trying to stop me? Dad, do you think this is what he'd want you to do?
Daisuke's face fell.
Did Suzune ask for this, Dad? Did she tell you to take someone else's heart so that she could live longer? Did she, Dad?
Suddenly the fight seemed to ebb from Daisuke's body. His stun gun hung limply in his hand.
If Suzune asked me to go and get someone's heart for her, I wouldn't object. I'd help her, just like she wanted. I wouldn't let you bear these crimes by yourself. But that's not what this is it? Suzune would never ask us something like this, would she?
And now tears were streaming down Achi's cheeks. He knew that his father thought about Suzune more than he thought of anyone else. And so he should know full well that she would never want this.
Suzu's not like me. She's smart, she's kind, and she'd never be happy about taking someone else's heart. Even if it saved her life, I'm sure she'd never accept that. She wouldn't be able to live with it, knowing something so horrible had happened to someone else for her sake. Isn't that the Suzune we know?
Daisuke's cheeks were smeared with tears now as well.
But then we're not going to be able to help her.
The sound of father and son weeping echoed through the workroom.
Maybe so. Maybe we won't. But that's better than the misery and suffering she'd have to live with.
It's real, no? It's real. It's good. It's a good scene. Daisuke slumped to his knees on the floor, collapsing like a crumbling mound of sand. Hitomi, freed from his grip, stood motionless. There were tears in her eyes, too.
Ah!
Oh,
You're such an idiot, Dad. Such a complete, utter idiot.
Sobbing, Hachi embraced his father. There's a sudden thud from near the door. Everyone turned to look. Oh my god. Maria had crumpled to the floor. Oh my god, is she going symptomatic?
She's sick.
And the newcomer had appeared. At some point, Kanan had silently entered the room. Now she cradled Maria in her arms. Standing in the doorway was a man Archie didn't recognize, his face pale.
Stay back.
Kanan shouted at Archie when he tried to approach. It looked like Maria had fallen unconscious. Archie's heart was racing in his chest. An eerie silence fell over the room. For several seconds, no one said a word, their eyes all fixed on Maria. Finally, Kanan looked up, her face ashen.
It's starting. Yeah,
To
that's
be
why I thought.
continued. I like how just fucking everyone is there. Like, there's so many people now.
Everyone's in there except for Minorikawa, who is still fucking around.
Minorikawa in a completely different plot line.
Anyway, let's jump into Kano, I guess.
Yeah. It is a visual novel. I don't know.
Kano might have like more immediate follow up to that instead of it ending.
Yeah. After the young man's desperate pleading, the other fellow, apparently his father, finally gave in. He released his hold of Tony. The tension in the room was replaced by a solemn air of gravitas. Seeing father and son weeping as they spoke made Kano think back to his conversation with Tateno before the stakeout. What was it in people that drove them to do such terrible things? Sometimes it was the desire to save the ones they loved. Even such a heartfelt human emotion could drive someone to wrongdoing. Why? Why did people have to be like that? A sudden thud snapped Kano out of his musing. An instant later, Kanan hurried past him into the workroom. Maria had collapsed on the floor, and now Kanan was beside her. In a panic, Kano rushed into the workroom as well.
Stay back!
Kanan shouted as the others tried to huddle around the fallen girl. Please don't be what I think this is. Had the virus gone symptomatic? 2 hours ago, Stanley had told Kano that Maria was infected. He'd also said that her symptoms would develop for another 4 hours. Shouldn't they still have 2 more hours to go? Maria looked like she was dead, her eyes closed, her body motionless. Hitomi tried to approach despite Kanan's warning. Maria! Maria, what's wrong? Kano held his arms wide to hold her back. Your sister has been infected with the UA virus. The UA virus? Hey, should you really be that close? She's developed symptoms. But Kanan didn't move from Maria's side. She calmly rested her hand on the other girl's forehead. There's no fever, and there's no blood coming from her ears, no lymph swelling. I'll be alright. She hasn't gone symptomatic yet. In that case, why did she collapse? Also, wait, I was doing Kanan's voice. Sorry, I stole her from you.
You stole it. It's fine.
That's fine. Well, can you do that?
I'm not sure yet.
This is not the girl who got tased. This is her twin
Yeah,
sister.
she's not the one who was being tased.
Also, the girl, she didn't get tased. Nobody got tased. There's Maria and Hitomi. They both look identical. But one of them's wearing a shirt that says, "Do you smoke a tea yet?" It has an impact font. She's an empath. She got psychically tased.
I'm not sure yet. Whatever the case, if we don't get her that antiviral, she's done for.
We have to get her to the lab right away. She was trembling with anxiety.
No, that's not an option.
Oh, no, that's Kana.
Oh.
No, that's not an option. You may already be aware, Miss Osawa, but without a password, we can't access the antiviral storage. But when I went there, my father and Mr. Tanaka... Mamoru Tanaka is dead. Murdered. What? She stared at him uncomprehendingly. No. No, that can't be true. He was a member of a crime syndicate. It's possible they killed him in order to silence him. So then, there's no way to save my sister? There was a hollow look in Tomi's eyes. No! I won't accept that! Why? Why can't we help her? No one had an answer. Connor gritted his teeth and hung his head. Why did it have to come to this? He'd come this far. There's nothing he could do, and he hated himself for it. Who is this? Kanan said, I'll go to the laboratory.
I'll go to the laboratory.
It was Kanan.
Electronic lock breaking is my specialty. Wait! So you're a martial arts badass, but your specialty is lock breaking?
He looked positively dumbstruck. Kanan ignored him, thinking out loud. Oh my god. Oh my god!
Shortcut.
A cryptanalysis technique that involves test input of all theoretically possible patterns. If time were unlimited, this would be the most reliable means of decipherment. However, in practice, the process takes massive amounts of time and computational power. It can be defeated by systems that prohibit access after a limited number of failed input attempts. Rather than trying to decipher the password itself, this method involves analyzing information of the device, such as processing time, power consumption, and electromagnetic leaks, and using these details to exploit the system. Isolating the run state of devices is a crucial element of countering side-channel attacks. A cryptanalysis method that uses mathematical algorithms to carry out efficient bulk calculations against a block cipher that makes use of a shared key for encryption and decryption. Even when such calculations are theoretically possible, however, in practice the process requires large amounts of time, and a block cipher is seldom at real risk.
Well, those all seem like bad options. Given the situation, I think I have to go with side channel.
Side channel? Where's your equipment?
One of the lab PCs will suffice. I can connect to a special server from the net.
From the net. I love 2008 video games.
I don't really understand the stuff you're talking about. But I'll trust you to handle this. I mean, you did risk your life to save Atomi from the minivan explosion and all.
I can connect to a special server from the net. Kanan nodded.
I have to warn you in advance, though. Cryptanalysis can take hours and still yield no results. I can't guarantee I'll be able to get the doors unlocked before Maria develops symptoms.
I understand. Hachi nodded too. No one present had any objections. Beeping. All of a sudden, there's a curious sound from somewhere in the room. What's that? What's making that noise? He looked around the workroom. Weep, 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 weep.
That's my computer.
The bank of monitors, which had been displaying surveillance camera footage from around Shibuya, had all gone black.
What the hell? What's going on, Dad?
Hachi joined his father, staring at the computer screens.
It's all gone. The camera footage. It's been deleted.
Daisuke blinked in disbelief. Who's the fuck is this? Now then, it seems our main cast has all been No,
It seems our main cast has been all assembled.
Okay. Man's voice, distorted by a voice modulator, came through the computer speakers. A moment later, the monitor's old man began to display a view of the inside of the workroom. I love the,
Look at the team! Look at the squad!
I love the JPEG compressed ones on the left and right monitors.
Yeah, it's really good!
They're so fucking crunched.
Dad, what the hell is this? Someone's broken through our firewall!
A security system preventing unauthorized intrusion into your computer network. The term stems from a metaphorical reapplication of the concept of a wall meant to inhibit the spread of fire or other destructive forces.
They've hijacked the surveillance camera system!
The color drained from Daisuke's face as he looked at the screens. Where are they filming us from? Keno asked, scanning inside the room. He used the image on the monitor to guess where the camera might be located. Over here? The lens of the camera set atop the computer monitor glimmered like an eye. It was a miniature camera, used for web conferencing and the like.
Now that Marie and Hitomi are both there, you have probably surmised the situation at hand. And so, I offer a proposal. The laboratory password in exchange for Hitomi's blood.
Realizing now that it was Alpar's voice they were hearing, everyone in the room froze. Null says, Soul, like, waiter, more voices, please.
I'm sorry!
It's fine, you just get yourself into this situation where you're playing...
It's fine!
I love this.
It's only a
this
problem
image.
right now because all of the things are converging.
At 7 o'clock.
Sorry, I just realized you could, like, hide it.
You can adjust the brightness?
Apparently. I just wanted to take a screenshot of this, and so I had to hit my screenshot button in the brief frame in the brightness menu where it doesn't show that.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's not showing me now. Anyway, I wanted to take a screenshot of this because I really like this face.
Yeah, it's a good one.
At 7 o'clock, roughly 1 hour from now, see that Hitomi Isawa is waiting at the Scramble intersection outside Shibuya Station, just like this morning. Unless, of course, you're feeling particularly confident. You do have Kanan with you. Perhaps you'd care to take a gamble on her lock-breaking skills instead.
Kanan clucked her tongue in frustration. Alphard had known exactly what the plan was.
Of course, if Kanan isn't able to get the door open in time, what will you do then?
Marie is
sure to die, yes, but that's not all.
Is 428 an address? Maybe.
If you don't agree to my offer, I have the means of creating another Maria, and a third.
Hang on. Don't say it like
He
that.
doesn't mean literally.
These infectees will spread the virus to Tokyo. The death toll will likely number in the hundreds of thousands.
It is difficult to predict the scope of infection in the event of a bioterrorist attack employing a highly infectious viral agent in a city with a large and mobile population. In a worst-case scenario, some researchers estimate as many as several million infected in a matter of days.
So, do think carefully before you decide.
Alphard's voice was chillingly matter-of-fact.
I will appear in the rendezvous in person.
Nell says, deeply misinterpreting the visual novel in brackets. He's going to fuck that old man? In brackets, Osawa.
That's what Aichi thinks. By second Maria.
Yeah,
Aichi's like, he's gonna clone her?
He's gonna... He's gonna get pregnant?
After all, it won't do for the star of the show to miss the final curtain.
Okay, I'm very excited to find out who the fuck Alphard is. Cause
I feel like Alphard's fucking it a little bit by being like, I will go to the rendezvous in person. And then I'll show up.
I'm looking forward to meeting all of you then.
Yeah, he's probably lying, is the thing. Like a liar.
Silent spell. Putting the images on the computer to monitor return to normal. Surveillance camera footage came back online as well. Deathgate promptly yanked out his Ethernet cable and slammed his fists on the keyboard.
Damn it! There was a hole in the firewall!
2008, baby.
I'll have to redo my security from the ground up. English Einstein? Good call. We can't win this if our intel keeps getting leaked.
Stanley pursed his lips in consternation. What do we do? Null says hole in the firewall this, hole in the firewall that. I feel like it'd be easier to have Alphard put a backdoor in his computer. Yeah, it's like... But that's
Like,
a more reasonable
Deathgate did give Alphard access to
Yeah.
the security
He
cam.
literally
So, like,
gave him access to the security camera footage. It's so, like, it makes sense that he would just have access to his computer. Do we give in to his demands? I mean, do we really expect he's just going to blithely show up like that? He's practically begging for us to come and catch him. There had to be some deeper plan at work. It means saving my sister. I'll do it. Tommy was resolute. No, you can't. What? Why not? Because if you do, you'll be killed. What? Tommy's voice caught in her throat. With the antiviral still present in your body a week after the fact, you're too much of a liability for Alphard to just let go.
he's right! Don't do it! He told me, you can't go!
Even still, I want to do it. Tommy stared defiantly at Stanley. You still want to go, even knowing that you'll be killed? I can't just sit here and hope that Kanan is able to pull this off. I want to do something for my sister. I want to save her. She peered down at Maria, sprawled on the floor. I guess that's why she is not that's why her story ended there, because she's very sick.
Because it turns out in the next scene she's gonna pass out. In the next scene she was in, she pass out. It turns out.
She'd object to me going, I'm sure of that. But I want to do what I can. To do things my way. No one tried to contradict her this time. She's willing to take the... Who's that? That's Kanan.
If she's willing to take the risk, then there are things the rest of you can do too.
It's Kanan again. Let's hear it. He squared his shoulders. He was of the same mind as Hitomi. He couldn't just do nothing and leave it all on Kanan. After everything he'd been through, he wanted to stick with his case until the very end.
Apprehend Alphard at the rendezvous, and demand the password from him.
Kanan offered the suggestion as if it were a simple task.
That lets you get what you want without putting Hitomi in danger.
Kana let out a sigh. Hold on. Even if we do arrest him, how are we going to get him to cough up the password? We don't have time to drag him off to an interrogation room. And besides, he doesn't strike me as the sort to offer confession that easily.
There are ways. Once Alphard has made contact with Hitomi, call my cell phone.
Hitomi tilted her head. call you?
I have plenty of information Alphard might want to bargain for. I can negotiate with him directly.
Kano considered Kanan's proposal. I see. So we'll try both options. Attempt to hack the password at the lab, and also try negotiating with Alphard. That gives us 2 chances. With that tiny ray of hope, Hitomi's face brightened some.
I like that, none of them if like completely and totally aware that that Osal was useless in this situation.
Yeah.
We'll split in 2 groups. One for the lab and one for Shibuya Station. Let's exchange phone numbers so we can be in touch when the time comes.
Nell says Kanan could run K-pop stan Twitter like the Navy if she was in school and not like an operative. Group quickly shared contact info as suggested. Fuck. Hitomi and Kanan called one another's phones to be sure. Hitomi's cheerful ringtone felt out of place, but also somehow soothing. A fragment of normalcy in the midst of crisis. Can I listen to the Ayakamiki song again? No! It won't even give me the Ayakamiki song! I only know the beginning of it, because it just plays the beginning of it so many times.
Yeah.
Well, guess we're all set then. Her expression turned apologetic. I'm sorry, Kanan. For having to keep putting things on me.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Okay, now I guess I should call my father. Tomi called Kenji Osawa in his cell, asking him to let Maria and Kanan into the lab. Kano leaned in to whisper into Kanan's ear. Are you sure you're okay with this?
With what?
I know that you're after Alphard. Are you sure you want to go to the lab and not...
Right now, I want to save Maria. That's all.
Gay ass. Gay ass.
Gay ass.
Her tone was as curt
Gay
and methodical
ass.
as ever, with a fierce gleam of determination in her eyes. Maria was clearly someone very special to her. They were clearly very close friends.
Clearly
dear
very
friends.
close. They could be roommates.
Yeah. Alright. Leave Alphard to me.
Leave Alphard to me.
He thumped himself on the chest. He'd succeed this time, no matter what the cost, no matter what the odds. Kana could scarcely recall the whirlwind of events that had brought him. He'd somehow survived a dozen disasters. Even now, a dear friend was in the hospital, at risk of dying. There were times when he'd really been ready to give up. There is a lot of times, in fact, where if you fuck up, Kano just gives up and goes and works on a farm instead and stops being a cop. Like, he just gives up
It's
a lot.
so funny how many times Kano could have given up.
Yeah, because Kano
It's his
really just
favorite thing to
hates
do.
being a police officer and just really wants to quit, I guess. And yet, at the end of it all, there he was. His opponent was an international terrorist. No matter how you looked at it, I wasn't a match for a mere detective. But I'm going to do it anyway. Rumi, Shizuo, Sasayama, Detective Tatma. Going to take down Alphard and save Maria Osawa's life. Just you watch and see.
That seems like a to be continued. Yeah, now there's only one left, and we know it's gonna get a keep out at some point.
Yeah. There's like multiple jumps into Osawa's story, so...
No, I think we missed the other jump. I think maybe not. I don't know.
I thought there was a jump in different timeline.
I just don't know if we erased it, basically.
Well, it's almost about time that we would normally be finishing. Wait, what the fuck?
Hey, what?
Hey, what?
Hey, what happened over here?
Oh, I didn't finish the, like...
Oh,
fix
I guess
the
you have to
timeline.
finish the scene.
Well, I'll fix this again, but what I was gonna say is... It's about time that I would normally end up stopping and, cooking... Echo's not here to do Kajiwara, so...
Yeah.
I think if we did that next stream, that would be good. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, next stream, I'm gonna need to end it early. It's probably gonna be like 2 hours next stream. But we'll see how far we get. Because I think next hour is gonna be the last hour.
Yeah, it seems like things are heading to a conclusion.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
We didn't think we'd get here.
Yeah. Good night, Noel, and good night, everyone else. Thank you for watching today's stream. I need to... Can I leave? Can I leave? How do I leave? Okay, well, whatever. But yeah. Doesn't let me go back to the title screen.
That's really funny.
I don't know how to quit from here.
Oh, that's less funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. Maybe
good
just
game.
skip to the end of any one of them.
Yeah, I guess I'll just
The
go with
Kano
any
one
of them.
probably because of the late jump. Oh wait, yeah, the late jump probably. And then just skip.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna fucking skip ahead in the text. But yeah, thank you for watching today, and we'll catch you next time. Farewell.
My.